DRG Media Group and River 92.7 are bringing you all home Oahe Zap games all season long. Tune in on the radio, listen on the app, or watch live on drgnews.com. Now, let's send it to the broadcast booth for some Oahe Zap baseball.
It's Bark at the Park Day at Hyde Stadium, and the Zap have let the dogs out. I'm Dylan Beach, joined alongside me Justin Cowart as the Zap try to take Game 3 of 4 versus the Bison Baseball Club. Should be a beautiful day here, crystal clear skies, and a lot of feline friends roaming the ballpark.
Feline friends?
Or not feline friends, canines.
Oh, there's a couple felines that are hanging around outside the ballpark. But no, it's going to be a great day. A lot of dogs in attendance here this afternoon. We got one good-looking guy up here in the booth with us today, and a good crowd on hand. Should be here to see some great baseball. We've seen it in the past 2 days. And what's interesting, we talked about the Bison before Game 1 of this 4-game series, and we said we might see some growth in this team throughout this second half of the season. We even went a step further. We said we might see some growth throughout this team, throughout this individual series. And I think we've seen that from Game 1 to Game 2 for this Bison Baseball Club. They lose 15-0 in Game 1. They get run ruled. But they had answers last night. They still lost the ball game. We saw a great outing from Ethan Miller. We saw some good hitting from their offense. We're starting to see some guys kind of come out of their shell a little bit. So I think it rings true. I think we've seen a little bit of growth out of this Bison Baseball Club. But the Oahe Zap, even though it is the sister organization, they are truly looking to, one, get the sweep here, and two, set themselves up in a good position for 2 huge series next week.
Yeah, they have got some tough series coming up. You have Casper coming back into town. And you have the Hastings Sodbusters right before that. It's going to be a lot harder than what they're facing right now. No shade towards the Bison, but it was an impressive outing for them last night. Fending off that run rule, the pitching looked improved, and a guy that we saw kind of come in and really shut things down was Josh Day, and now he's starting for them today, Justin.
Well, I don't think it's disparaging to say that about the Bison because they are a young team. We're only rostering about half of what the Casper Spuds, half of what the Hastings Sodbusters will roster. And I think this whole series for them and this whole season is going to be about growth, and we're seeing that right here. So I don't think anything you said was disparaging, but I think you could go down and talk to that dugout, and they would probably agree that the Hastings Sodbusters and the Casper Spuds are more talented teams. The one thing that I get a little bit nervous about with this Oahe Zap Ball Club is, are they taking this a little bit too easily? Are they, kind of putting their feet up and kind of cruising through this series? I hope they keep in mind that, while the Bison, they do have talent, they're not a complete team like they're going to face off with next week. Really excited to dive into those 2 series upcoming here at Hyde Stadium as this game goes along.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you, Justin. We kind of saw that in Game 1 of the Prospect series when it felt like the Zap were going to come in, run rule them, go home on an early day, but then they get run ruled in that game, and kind of felt like they had maybe set themselves up for a grander performance in what they actually put out. Maybe thinking, that team, they're not very good, they're a travel team, we're just going to roll over them. Business ain't done. The Bison could still win these 2 games and split this series and really set you up for a bad second half.
And absolutely, you're right about that. And think about this, too. The Zap put their ace out on the mound in Easton Pratt yesterday, and he had a great outing, much better than we saw against the Nebraska Prospects. But with this Bison Ball Club, we keep saying it, but they're starting to find certain pieces coming out of the bullpen. We saw Curtis Lindsey hit some make some great contact yesterday. He wasn't able to get any RBIs because Gannon Hall got thrown out on that long near RBI triple. But for this Bison team, they are growing slowly but surely. But like you said, for the Oahe Zap, maybe I'm so excited to see how this team in the Zap come out tonight and how they respond to what happened yesterday because, in Game 1, I think they went into that with all expectations of themselves through the roof, saying, what, we're going to go out, we're going to dominate, we're going to be the team that we know we are. After they went 15-0, it's almost as if they came into Game 2, like you just said, you know what, this is a travel ball club. We've pretty much got this game won. It's already in the win column. And while they did win, the Bison had some answers. So I want to see how they come out today, knowing that the Bison were able to fend off, like you said, the run rule, have some answers for the Zap yesterday. And I expect them to dominate here again today.
First now, let's get our visiting lineup Starting things off, Rhett Rogers playing second and leading things off. Sam Benz out and right. Gannon Hall batting third and playing left. Curtis Lindsay cleaning things up at center field. Talon Field playing short. Louis Coca at third. Remy Hart at first, and tonight's beer batter. And then Mason Lang taking the one for the team, going over to play catcher for the Bison here tonight. I do believe they will have their catcher in town for tomorrow night's game. And then batting ninth, Josh Day, and pitching for the Bison. I'll turn things over to you for the Zap.
Well, I just wanted to go back, as you mentioned, that the Bison may have their full-time catcher coming into town, so it means that we get to get all our players back. You know, with Noah Cadena yesterday, he was kind of the only reason that game didn't get to run rule with his 2-run home run. But, you know, good for Mason Lang for kind of going across enemy lines and, you know, taking the spot of Noah Cadena. You and I were laughing because it was kind of funny how, okay, Noah Cadena did a lot of damage to the Zap yesterday. We're going to take him back. You can have Mason Lang, and that's nothing against Mason Lang. He's a great player, too. He's been doing the exact same thing. But, you know, I was kind of curious, like maybe the Bison want me to suit up back there and go play catcher for them. You know, maybe that's what the Zap would want. But the Zap starting lineup tonight, we get to see Jared Pugrad. Over at shortstop, it's been mostly Gavin Frazier over there, but Jared and Gavin going to be playing that middle infield. A deadly duo between the two. Emiliano Curiel will be flying around in left, batting in the 2-hole. Garen Gledhill will be batting third and be today's DH. Connor Hammonds gets the start at first base today. He'll be hitting cleanup. Aiden Johnson will be playing third, batting fifth. Gavin Frazier, as we mentioned, will be at second base. Out in center field will be Mr. Andrew Phillips. Noah Cadena will be behind the dish, and we get to see Tyler Hoffman batting ninth and playing right field. We thought we'd get it yesterday, but today we get a very special national anthem between two players. We'll send it down to the field for Esteban Baca, and he is joined by Emiliano Curiel to sing the anthem today.
Big Oahe Zap of the Oahe Zap players.
Well done, guys. I don't know if I can continue. I've got tears in my eyes, Justin. That was just beautiful.
Well, we knew that we were going to be in for a treat. They thought they were going to get to sing it yesterday, and then they had the heartbreaking news that it was going to be pushed to tomorrow. But they just kind of set up some foreshadowing. It was kind of a cliffhanger, and boy, did they ever come through for the win. That was great, and well done by both of those two. That's a perfect way to start off a Saturday afternoon out here at Hyde Stadium.
The crowd just loved that version of the national anthem, and now we get a first pitch. Just a bit outside, but a good effort there. We're getting ready to start this ball game. Justin, any last keys to the game?
I think today for the Bison would be to score early, try to get some runners on, and try to move them around, play small ball. Again, you're fighting against a kind of an uphill battle against a team that has got a little bit more talent through that 1 through 9 spot in the roster, but also they're deeper. So, you know, for the Bison, you're continuing just to try to find things that work for you. It's not all going to come together all at once, but for the Oahe Zap, I think, as you know, we talked about a little bit earlier in the pregame, get back to the standard that you have set for yourself as a team at home. We had a lot of fun at the ballpark yesterday. We got to see some starters riding out on motorcycles and guys having fun in the dugout. But I think they need to kind of get the right mindset before they get into a very, very integral and important part of this season next week. So I would like to see a little bit more focus. I would like to see these guys come ready to play today and get themselves another win this series, look for the sweep tomorrow, take those 2 off days, and come ready to play on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, if you were going to make a playoff push, you were going to have to win these games against the travel teams, but you're also going to have to be able to deliver against some key performers in that playoff race as Jake Fuller takes the mound for his second start for the Oahe Zap. We got to see him last week when he was just fresh to the team, just look absolutely stellar out there on the bump. We'll see what he's got in store tonight. Rhett Rogers getting set to lead things off for the Bison. Third baseman Aiden Johnson over there shaking Trey Martin's hand. And now time for the ball game. Fuller getting the sign, coming set, delivering, missing for ball 1.
A little bit of pressure on Jake Fuller today after the 2 starts we've seen out of Bryce Van de Wastein and Easton Pratt, as they just threw 2 gems, and you'd love to see Fuller continue that.
1-0 right down the middle for strike 1.
We saw a pretty good outing the last time we saw Jake Fuller, as you mentioned. And it still feels, I know that we said Easton Pratt kind of falls into that ace role.
That one chopped into play. Pugrad charging, is unable to field it cleanly. Be a leadoff runner in Rhett Rogers for the Bison.
Yeah, but as we mentioned, still kind of looking for that true ace for this rotation and for this Zap team. They got a lot of really great pitchers, a lot of guys that have kind of moved in from that reliever role into that starter role, but nobody really kind of taking it over and saying, I'm the guy that if you have to have a must-win game, you're going to throw me.
Still trying to figure out who that'll be. Fuller working out of the stretch, gets that one fouled off for strike 1. And there is a dog here not having a very good time at the moment.
I don't know. He's running into Shock the Wolf, and I think that maybe we could have left the mascot costume at home on Bark in the Park Day.
Well, it is UPS night at the ballpark as well, so if we see a mailman, we might completely lose it all here at the Hyde Stadium as Fuller misses for ball 1. Last time we saw Fuller was in that game versus the Prospects. He went 4 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, and 6 strikeouts. 1-1. Just misses for ball 2. It was a really impressive outing for a guy who had just joined the team a couple of days prior. And that's something I think could be interesting as we get further into this second half, is how those second half guys mesh with this team. 2-1 from Fuller, I should say, misses outside quickly behind in the count 3-1. And at danger of walking a runner into scoring position.
Yeah, and it's tough, too, for your starter. First,
comes set versus Benz. That one misses for ball 4.
Yeah, I think Fuller wanted that call from Chris Dozark behind the dish. Didn't get it. Looked pretty good from up here. We know some of these Zap pitchers and Chris Dozark don't always see eye to eye on a lot of things. But going back to the point, you got a really nice ground ball to start the game with their leadoff hitter, and Jared Pugrad unable to make the play, and already an error for the Zap. That's not the way you want to start and kind of try to back up your starter.
That one just misses. It's a couple of pitches in a row where Fuller maybe would have liked to have had those calls. Chris Dozark behind the plate, Richard Gilmore out in the field here today. Fuller runners on first and second, comes set, fires. That one fouled towards the broadcast booth. Count even up at 1 apiece. Noah Cadena coming back to the Oahe Zap to catch today. We thought maybe if he was going to come back from the Bison, he'd maybe get a day off, but they liked what they saw out of him the last couple of nights, so it's 3 straight starts for Cadena, as that one misses off the plate for ball 2. And it was maybe a case of like what Justin said. They saw him playing great defense, and they saw him hit that home run and say, enough's enough, we want you back. You're not doing any more damage against us. But Mason Lang is a pretty good player to be giving up in a trade. 2-1. That one swung sky high See Justin trying to open up the window, just landing a bit below us.
And it
skipped
bounced
into
right
the window.
to me. It had my name all over
Oh,
it.
no.
That could have been me.
That
Could have been me right here.
That could have been us.
You know, we called it earlier in the booth here before the pregame. Said today was the day, and I missed my opportunity.
2-2 from Fuller. Grounded towards Pugrad. Chasing, trying to make the play at second, and gets the runner on a very close play. It didn't look like the Zap were going to get anybody, but a bit of an awkward slide there from Sam Benz. Gannon Hall is safe at first. There was no play. So runners on the corner with one away, but a close call there for the Zap.
Dangerous decision from Pugrad right there to throw that ball to second base, because the risk you run is not getting that throw there in time, and then you get bases loaded with this guy coming to the plate, Curtis Lindsay, who can absolutely blast the ball.
Cleanup hitter Curtis Lindsay coming to the plate. Saw a defensive masterclass out of him in game one. So he swings through that one for strike one. He was over there at first base just having to pick everything out of the dirt all night. And then last night we saw him out in center field make a miraculous diving catch. I think that's probably the position he's a bit more comfortable in as they got him out in center again. The 0-1 from Fuller just misses high for ball one.
Well, we talked about how the Bison are starting to find those pieces and figure out what works for them. And one of those was figuring out Curtis Lindsay belongs in center field. He's not exactly your typical first baseman. Kid can run fast. He's got a great glove. We saw that yesterday.
1-1 swung on off speed for strike two.
Are you upset with me for missing that foul ball? Because I'm upset with myself.
I was devastated just for you because I know how much you want one of those foul balls.
We're running out of time,
dude,
too.
that was like the because it skipped right into the window. These dang whiteboards cost us a foul ball there. Fuller, the 1-2, comes set, just misses. Count runs even at 2 apiece. And there have certainly been some good pieces for the Bison here throughout this early part of the series. Gannon Hall, one of those guys in left field, has been really ripping the cover off the baseball here today. Fuller comes set. That one swung on and missed. A lethal breaking ball from Fuller gets his first strikeout of the game.
And what a big strikeout that was, too. After that nice play by Pugrad at short, now you've got the opportunity where you can either get a ground ball and get an easy force play here, but with runners on first and third, to get a strikeout in that situation is absolutely massive.
Fuller trying to get out of this early jam, tries the pickoff over there at first. Hammond's not applying a tag. It's back in time easily.
This would be a good start for Fuller.
Fuller comes set, fires. That one, a first pitch strike. Good pitch there from Fuller. Really starting to settle in after getting hit here early. Trying to attack Talon Field. The 0-1 just a bit off the plate. Count runs even.
Well, he wasn't really getting hit early. It was that error made by Pugrad and then a walk where it feels like the strike zone. You got to fit it into a keyhole.
Yeah. I said it instantly, but
no,
it was a jam, but he has done a great job working out of it. And it was an uncharacteristic play out of Pugrad as he misses for ball two. First on the error, Pugrad was charging. He felt like he had a chance to make the play. 2-1 fouled off. Count runs even at 2 apiece.
And I do want to make a correction, as that is Jason Seitz back behind the dish, not Chris Dozark today. We just got our official umpire lineup here. So that one is on me. I know you were going for the high five. Sorry to leave you hanging there, Dylan.
Fuller just misses. That one, another one he would love to get the call on. That one looked pretty good from up here, but giving Field another chance. The payoff pitch here now from Fuller. Comes set, fires. That one fouled hard into the netting.
And not only is the Bison taking our catchers from us, they're also taking some of our pure Wildcat athletes. Colton is one of the great runners for the Wildcats. He's over there playing bat boy today for the Bison. So they're just taking everything we've got.
Not letting us have anything here.
Let's see if Fuller can get out of this jam.
Fuller coming set for the second payoff pitch. shaking off a couple of signs. Finally gets one he likes. Sets, deals. That one swung on and missed. It was a good decision to shake whatever he shook off. And Fuller gets out of a jam. We'll keep it right here for the first inning Fiber Fact.
Let's get you a first inning Fiber Fact here, as always, which is brought to you by Venture Communications. Now, Venture doesn't have their hand in the medical field, or do they? Did you know that fiber optics are used in medical procedures, allowing doctors to see inside the body without invasive surgery? Our first inning Fiber Fact from last week, they told you it's thin as a human hair, so that makes sense why it could get in. No, Venture Communications not performing any invasive surgeries, but what they are doing is bringing you blazing fast internet with fiber optic cable. Call Venture Communications today. Check them out on Facebook. They've got a lot of great stuff going on. Big thanks to Venture Communications for sponsoring our first inning Fiber Fact. And you can call them and get them set up. Always great to have fiber when you got a big storm come through here in central South Dakota, which we thought we might see yesterday, but it kept getting pushed off. To answer your question from yesterday, yes, I believe God is a baseball fan, as he let us have this game on the 4th of July go from start to finish, and the Zap getting a win.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest day for about 5 innings of that ball game, I'd like to say, and then it just became a gorgeous crystal clear sky. The clouds just kept drifting the opposite direction. We even had a double rainbow out in left field. And it was a great day for the Zap, despite not being as dominant of a victory as in Game 1. A 3-run Alex Jackson home run, capping off a great day for the Zap, in which Easton Pratt struck out 11 batters.
How amazing was his outing yesterday?
Just incredible. And then Josh Porter in relief coming in as well, looking stellar, Justin.
Yeah, he was. And you know, Josh Porter came in, struck out his first 5 batters. I mean, that is almost unfathomable. To me, at least, you know, just because I can't even imagine how you can go out and strike out one of these college players. But for him to do it, 5 batters faced, 5 strikeouts, and Easton Pratt, what's amazing is his season high was 6. He had 6 in 2 separate outings, and he blew by that, almost doubled that. So it seemed like all the Zap pitchers were on their P's and Q's yesterday. And hopefully, you know, Jake Fuller got himself in a bit of an early jam, and he was able to get out of that. And it's so funny, you know, we talk about it all the time. Maybe that's what settles these guys in, is getting a little bit roughed up in the first top half of the first inning, the first couple batters, and then finally settling in after saying, okay, I got myself in a jam and I got myself out. Now let's play some ball.
And we always say it wouldn't be a Zap game if there's not a hit batsman. It also wouldn't be a Zap game if a pitcher didn't have to get out of a first inning jam, it feels like. Because that is what just raises those pitch counts every single game we have here at Hyde Stadium. Pugrad steps into the batter's box. He gets his first offering inside for ball 1 from Josh Day. We saw Day come in to finish things off for the Bison last night. He looked like one of their lone bright spots, it felt like, kind of in that game, but he looked stellar at times.
As did Ethan Miller. You know, you want to talk about great pitching outings. Ethan Miller for the Bison.
1-0. Just misses for ball 2. Yeah, it was a very commendable relief effort out of Miller and Day, really kind of keeping things where they were. If it was a bit closer to a ball game, they really could have been heroes for the Bison yesterday. Day coming set quickly behind in the count, 2-0. That one fouled sky high. Got to stay and play. Mason Lang drifting and making the play for the first out of the inning. Coach Habiger maybe going to give him a disappointing nod as Mason Lang kind of joking around like, dang it, I should have dropped that.
It's almost as if he looked over at the dugout and put his hands on it and said, like, oh, I forgot I'm playing my own team.
It was a good play. The way it was
tough play, yeah.
The way it was drifting and going so high, I thought it was going to get out of play or hit the fencing, but there is no wind to speak of right now at Hyde Stadium. Curiel now up to bat. Has been red hot here lately.
Oh.
He breaks his bat on the first pitch, trying to run it out at first, not in time. He goes down for the second out of the inning, and that one's going to cost him.
Yeah, it sure is. We got a little bit of free firewood out there on the field. We've seen some broken bats where the hitter will walk back to the dugout and he's kind of inspecting his bat, saying, I think there might be a crack in here, and then taps it on the ground. You can hear it That one was a full-on broken bat. And a good thing Louis Coca had his head on a swivel because that top half of the bat was careening towards him.
Yeah.
And he still had the focus to make the play. That takes some guts.
The bat bout went as far as the ball did, and it was a costly swing from Emiliano Curiel. So he'll have to look for a new bat. Aaron Gledhill watches that one outside for ball 1. Gledhill DHing today. He likely would have been another candidate to maybe catch a couple of games for the Bison if he was healthy right now, but he's still dealing with that injury. They're trying to work him back, let him play DH a few times, as that one misses for ball 2. I was talking to Guerin last night after the game. He absolutely laced one into the outfield yesterday, and it seemed like he was going to have a double, but he was telling me he watched Curtis Lindsey throw it from center, and he kind of just misjudged where he was throwing it. He thought he was throwing it to second as he watches that one in for strike 1. He thought Lindsey was going to just absolutely hose him at second, but he just said he misread it. He wanted to be safe rather than sorry and not just be thrown out at second.
I guess that's a good explanation. The only problem was he was about 40 feet away from second base, and
2-1 to Gledhill, misses for ball 3.
And about 50 feet away from first base, so he was closer to the second base bag and decided to turn and run back. And the throw from Lindsey, it came in as a float. I mean, it reached about 45 feet in the air of apex, so it wasn't a hard throw. I think that might be something that comes with not having a bunch of playing time because he's been nursing that injury.
Yeah, and injury hampering his legs as he just destroyed that baseball. That one going, and gone.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about a Curtis Lindsey throw off of that one.
Oh, my goodness. A ball destroyed to right center gap. And Guerin Gledhill has left the ballpark for the first time this season. A 2-out, 1-run shot gives the Zappa an early lead.
That is a definition of a no-doubter.
Wow.
The second he hit that one,
Jeez.
We did not have to worry about maybe that one bounces on the warning track, maybe it's over. No, that one was...
My goodness.
That one was tattooed. If it weren't for that net out there in center field, that one might be sitting on the train tracks.
We've seen some powerful home runs this year, but I'm not sure one has left quicker than that one. That was a rocket to the second deepest part of this ballpark. And Guerin Gledhill has left the stadium for the first time, brings Connor Hammonds to the plate now. Guerin Gledhill, he was probably the least happiest guy in the world when he couldn't play, when he was injured. He wanted to get out there. His friends were giving him grief. They were saying, I have as many home runs right now as you have hits because he didn't have very much playing time. Well, you've got a home run now, Guerin, as Hammonds grounds that one sharply to third. Coca firing across the diamond in time for the third out of the inning, but the damage was done. Guerin Gledhill leaves the ballpark to give the Zap an early 1-0 lead. We'll be right back here on River 92.7.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre's Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Guerin Gledhill leaves the deepest part of the ballpark and gives the Zap a 1-0 lead. as we head to the top of the second inning on Bark in the Park night at Hyde Stadium. And we got a lot of happy faces on the faces of our Zap fans and the canines, and I guess some felines too. I'm sure there's some hanging around here. As Fuller back out on the bump, just barely missing outside. And he will continue his day. He had a big jam out there in the first inning. Had runners on first and third as this one is sent towards the right field corner. Chasing and moving over to make the play on it is Tyler Hoffman, and he will record the first out. He got into that jam with runners on first and third. There was runners on first and second. Got a ground ball to Jared Pugrad. He decided to go to second. Bang, bang play. Luckily for the Zap, he got the out. And then faced Curtis Lindsey, got him down swinging. Was able to retire the side, and now will face Remy Hart. And the first pitch to Remy Hart is swung on and missed for strike one. Beautiful day here on this Saturday in Pierre. Here's the 0-1 to Hart. That one fouled off, and it's quickly 0-2. Zap looking to win the series here against their sister organization, the Bison Baseball Club, and then if they could do that today, they will look for the sweep tomorrow afternoon before two very welcome off days. Here's the 0-2 to Hart. That one is chopped down the third base line, and that is going to bounce foul. Man, Hart. As we've got, see, I told you,
he was
Colton
sprinting. I was
one
waiting
of
for
the
you to
best
see him.
runners on the Pierre Wildcats. Is Colton the bat boy, also one of the Pierre Wildcat athletes, chases that foul ball down in the left field corner. The 0-2 will do it again. That one is shot out into Capitol Avenue. So Fuller having to exhaust some pitches here against Remy Hart in the 7-hole. Mason Lang on deck for the Bison. That's right, the Bison, as this one misses high for ball one. And then Josh Day will round out the 1-2-3 here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, it feels weird having last year's team MVP not on the team.
Here's the 1-2 to Hart. That one misses high for ball two. And that kind of goes back to what Remy Hart, and big thing that he's doing is fouling off some good pitches to stay alive in the at-bat. It was 0-2, now it's 2-2. Fuller with the pitch. That one fouled off into the netting, and Hart continuing to stay alive.
I don't know how he's making contact with some of these pitches.
I know, that first foul ball down the third base line, I'm not sure how he got a bat on that. Here's the 2-2. That one again fisted down the third base line, but foul. He is just a bit late on all of these pitches, but he's making contact with him, which is keeping him alive in the at-bat.
I think the opposing team just hears the beer chants and just locks it into a different gear to stay alive.
Noah Cadena got off the hook of being today's beer batter after being the beer batter in the last two games. Of course, he had to catch for the Bison. So we'll do the 2-2 all over again. That one in there for strike three, and Remy Hart goes down looking. He's got a couple of words there for home plate umpire Jason Seitz. I don't think you can really complain about that. Seitz has had a very tight strike zone, so if he calls it, it's over the plate. And this will bring up Mason Lang. Mason Lang going to look over to the Zap dugout. You better be careful. This guy knows the signs, and he just showed off a couple of the signs to the dugout. Wonder if that may play into a little factor into what Noah Cadena did yesterday. Here's the first pitch to Lang. He sends that one into left field. Camping underneath it is Curiel, looking up into the bright sunlight, and records the third out of the inning. So Mason Lang goes down swinging, and that's a 1-2-3 top of the second for Mr. Fuller. We'll be back with the bottom second here when we return on River 92.7 and streaming on drgnews.com.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at united.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive, not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
Hey Zap baseball fans, it's Justin Cowart. If you're interested in a podcast that's sports and only sports, you need to check out Players Perspective. I have athletes and coaches from the South Dakota area and across the country, from the high school all the way up to the professional level. Come on and tell stories of their biggest and best moments of their athletic careers. If it's sports, you bet we cover it on Players Perspective Podcast, sponsored by Avera. You can find it wherever you find podcasts by searching DRG Media Group or on drgnews.com. Now, back to myself and Dylan Beach in the broadcast booth for some more Zap Baseball.
A lot of folks taking advantage of the beer batter getting struck out. The line is almost out the gate here at Hyde Stadium. Zap leading 1-0 here as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Josh Day still on the mound for the Bison. It's been a great day. Bark in the Park night, as we've mentioned here. A lot of four-legged friends here in attendance. We've got the UPS table set up. They're giving away some free stuff as well. And a lot of pup cups being enjoyed by our furry friends.
All those pup cups going proceeds to Paws Animal Shelter here tonight. Good cause and a good treat for all our furry friends at the ballpark.
We might even have some adoptable dogs here later this evening. So who knows? We might have some fans leaving with a new friend to take home. Aiden Johnson will lead it off for the Zap. He takes strike one on the outside corner.
Yeah, do you think my parents would be surprised if I adopted a dog tonight and just brought it back with me next month?
I think surprised would be an understatement. As Day comes set, here's the 0-1 to Johnson. That one is ripped and going to find its way through the middle of the infield. Aiden Johnson continues his great work at the plate. He's on board to lead off the bottom of the second inning here. Second hit of the ball game for the Zap. The first one came off that Garen Gledhill moonshot. Actually, can't really call it a moonshot. Didn't have very high trajectory. It just left the ballpark in a hurry. And Johnson getting the second hit of the ball game here for the Zap.
And I hope that ball didn't have a family, because that one's not coming back.
That'll bring up Gavin Frazier, playing second base today, moving over from the shortstop position. Johnson thought about stealing on that off-speed pitch that missed out and away for ball one.
And he's out of the leadoff spot again. We saw him bat second that one game, but then went right back to batting leadoff. This is foreign territory all the way down at 6.
Saw Frazier get thrown out trying to steal home yesterday. Here's the 1-0. That's popped back our way and just out of reach of the broadcast booth. Really kicking myself for that missed opportunity earlier today.
That's what I probably won't forget this year.
Until we actually get one here.
It's going to be awesome. That's going to be.
See that one in my nightmares. Count evened up at 1 apiece here to the Zap shortstop / second baseman today. Day set, and Gavin Frazier wears it. Your regularly scheduled hit batsman for the Oahe Zap comes in the bottom of the second inning, and now the Zap have a little something going here. 2 runners on, nobody out, and Andrew Phillips coming up to the plate.
Yeah, and I hope that last one hit on that elbow guard.
Sure sounded like it did.
It bounced real quickly like it looked like it did, but that one would have hurt if it didn't.
Got him right up in the elbow area, and Frazier really didn't move all that much. You know, normally you'll see a guy flinch or turn as the first pitch to Phillips misses way outside for ball 1. But with as many times as the Zap have been hit this year, you know, it's kind of old hat now. They don't really have to move. They just kind of, oh, yep, I figured this was coming.
The bruise probably never goes away at this point. It's probably just there for the season.
Here comes the 1-0 to Phillips. He turns to bunt, tries to lay it down the third base line, but it's going to curl foul. And it's going to come to rest kind of in the dirt walkway between the on-deck circle and the home plate vicinity. So that'll even up the count at 1 apiece. Zap trying to play a little small ball here, move those runners from first to second over to second and third with nobody out. Bison got runners on first and third, but they still haven't recorded a hit. That first and third setup came in the top of the first. Jake Fuller was able to go 1-2-3 in the top of the second. Here's the pitch to Phillips. That one just a bit outside for ball 2. And Josh Day wanting to know from his home plate umpire where that one missed. Long lead for Frazier over at first base. Remy Hart not holding him back as this one misses and crosses the shoe tops there of Andrew Phillips, and the count runs 3-1. Good situation here for Andrew Phillips. 2 on, nobody out, and he's got a very favorable count. It's 3-1. We'll see what Day has for Phillips. Aiden Johnson bouncing back and forth at second. Phillips fouls that one back into the netting behind home plate, and the count will run full. You know, we were laughing about Shock the Wolf yesterday and how dejected that young man looked in that mascot outfit. But, you know, I always say I've got mad respect for anybody that throws that thing on. Alex Sheets' dad was the Shock the Wolf mascot here today. He didn't even make it out of the first inning. He is taking it off, and now he's nursing a bag of ice. The payoff pitch must have slipped out of the hand of Josh Day because it missed about 10 feet high. And that'll walk the bases full for Noah Cadena, who has been dying to get back in the red, white, and blue of the Oahe Zap uniform after spending 2 days in the yellow and brown of the Bison uniform. And Noah Cadena hit a 2-run home run yesterday against his team. Now he can really do some damage for his team with the bases loaded and nobody out. Mr. Sheets has got that bag of ice pressed up against his chest area. Here's the first pitch to Cadena. That's off the plate for ball 1.
And it's been a while since he's been a mascot. We got a tip that he was Scooby-Doo at his son's birthday party, Alex, way back in the day. So it's probably been a while since he's been a mascot.
He probably had all those memories come rushing back to him as he put that Shock the Wolf mascot head on. Here's the 1-0 to Cadena. That one chopped off the plate. Will bounce over the head of Mason Lang behind him.
I hope Alex didn't hear me say that through the press box window. That might have just ruined a childhood memory. He probably thought that was actually just Scooby-Doo.
But that's how much respect I have for the young man yesterday in the Shock mascot outfit. He did it all 9 innings. Mr. Sheets, he only made it about 15 minutes. Here's the 1-1. Cadena checked his swing, but it still caught the neck of the bat and bounces foul. So now Josh Day has gotten ahead in the count. It's 1-2. And Cadena probably looking out at Josh Day like, look, I filled you in on some of the signs yesterday and told you what pitches these guys are going to throw. Throw me a bone here on Bark in the Park Day and leave one over the middle of the plate. Here's the 1-2 to Cadena. Up and in, and it catches him on the shoulder. And that'll score the second run of the game for the Zap. Aiden Johnson will trot home. And Cadena will head down to first. And now Tyler Hoffman will come up with the same chance to do some damage. Still nobody out. Everybody just kind of moved around 90 feet. Nice little exchange between Hoffman and Lang. Hoffman steps in.
78th hit batman of the year.
78?
Yep. Five advantage over the Sodbusters with 73. Spuds hit the least with 52.
First pitch to Hoffman is in there for strike one. That is absurd.
That's why I went quiet there for a while early in this inning. I had to figure out how many times each team had been hit.
Your next task is to average that out and figure out how many hit batsmen we're getting per game. Josh Day with that arm hanging, right arm hanging. Now he comes set from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch is off the end of the bat of Hoffman, and now quickly 0-2. And I think if you're Josh Day right now, you're not really trying to get out of this. You can't now get out of this with no damage after you hit that last hitter and walked in a run, but now you're just trying to limit the damage. Try to avoid a huge inning here for the Zap and keep your team in this ball game. Here's the 0-2 to Hoffman. Swung on and missed. He pulled the string. An outstanding off-speed pitch from Josh Day will record the first out of the inning. And Tyler Hoffman will go down swinging. But we head back to the top of the lineup for Jared, who would love the opportunity to make up for that first inning error. That certainly put some more pitches on Jake Fuller's pitch count. And now he can really help out his pitcher and erase that error with a base hit here. Day comes set. First pitch to Pugrad. Falls in. He goes back to that same breaking ball and fires in strike one.
So tonight is the 33rd Zap game, which means they've been hit just around roughly 2 1/3 times per game. Just incredible stuff.
That is unbelievable. Here's the 0-1 to Pugrad. Reaches out, can't get it. Swing and a miss for strike two. And if Josh Day could get the strikeout here and get to 2 outs with these bases loaded and get out, that would be a monumental avoidance of what he's gotten himself into. Long look in. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Jared Pugrad. Just off the plate from ball one. Tell you what, Seitz is really making these guys earn it out there.
Yeah, that one looked like it could have been a 6th straight strike there for Day.
Day kind of shaking his head out there on the mound. We've been seeing him move certainly quickly, but he kind of had to take a deep breath after that one, regain his composure. Here's the 1-2. Pugrad drives this one into the gap in left center. Curtis Lindsey giving chase, and he dives, stretches, and makes the outstanding catch. The hit will go down as a sacrifice fly as Gavin Frazier comes home to score, but another great flash of leather out of the center fielder for the Bison, Curtis Lindsey, as he gets the out. 1 run scores, but he saved about 3 runs on that play.
Oh my goodness, Curtis Lindsey. Tip your cap. I mean, that was incredible. That one certainly looked like run scoring, and he just about pulled back 3 runs for the Bison there.
That was, I thought there was no way anybody in that outfield was going to be able to get to that ball, but we told you that Curtis Lindsey certainly looks more comfortable in that center field position. Here goes the runner. He's taking off for third, but Curiel fouls it off. So now Andrew Phillips will have to head back to second.
He just threw the hands up at Emiliano Curiel like, why'd you swing there?
Looked like Phillips was going to have that base stolen standing. We'll see if he tries it again.
Well, I'm sure he wants to steal against his college teammate Mason Lang.
Long look from Day. There goes Phillips again. Curiel doesn't offer at that one. No throw as both Noah Cadena and Andrew Phillips swipe a bag. Now the runners are at second and third with 2 outs. And it was only fitting that Garen Gledhill hit that home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Zap have been savages with 2 outs at the plate. See if they can add to their 2-out total this season with a swing here from Curiel. The 1-1. That one's driven into the right center gap, giving chase, and that's going to get down in front of Sam Benz. Curiel will clear the bases. He is into second base standing. Cadena and Phillips will score standing. And with 2 outs, more damage done by the Zap. It's their 4th run of this inning. They lead 5-0 here in the bottom of the second.
That was such a good hit. It's got Charlie on his feet.
Charlie was laying down on our table, our table here for the Avera medical team, and he heard the crack of the bat. I think he might have thought that he might be able to chase that one down if it could leave the ballpark, but that one perfectly placed in between Curtis Lindsey and Sam Benz. I know Curtis Lindsey's fast, but there was no chance he was going to chase that one down off the bat of Curiel.
Yeah, there was some air under it, but it would have needed to be about a mile high if he was going to chase that one down. Just really well struck from Curiel, and just like that, a 5-0 lead for the Zap. With Garen Gledhill back to the plate, we'll see if he can get his second one of the year.
So the coach will come out for the Bison. Coach Martin will talk to Josh Day, kind of settle him down a little bit. Felt like that would have been a really nice job of Josh Day to get out of that bases-loaded jam, only giving up 2 runs. Of course, there was only runners on second and third there on that hit by Curiel, but we've talked about it all year, and kind of the same goes for the Bison. You know, you can give up 2-3 run innings, but it's those 4, 5, 6, and 7 run innings you have to avoid as a ball club if you want to keep yourself in games.
And he threw that 6th pitch. That would have been his 6th straight strike and get the 2nd strikeout in a row, but went down as a ball, and then Pugrad gets the sac fly, and then Curiel there.
Garen Gledhill will step in. He is 1 for 1 on the day. As we've mentioned, he had that absolute sod buster of a home run out to right center field. In the bottom of the first, he did so with 2 outs. He's got 2 outs and now a runner on. And he's ahead in the count 1-0, and now he might have done it again. This one is charged out to right field. Ben's giving chase. It's going to bounce off the wall. Gledhill heading to second. Curiel heading for home, and Garen Gledhill has now added a double to his resume today here in the bottom of the second inning. He's got a home run, he's got a double, and he's got 2 RBI, and the Zap leads 6-0 here in the second.
He's about to get called for a random performance screening, man. He has just destroyed 2 baseballs. That one didn't get out, but that had an incredible exit velocity on it as well. I mean, he is just destroying these balls right now.
Nothing cheap about Garen Gledhill's 2 hits today. And that'll bring up Connor Hammonds as Zap continuing to dice up opponents with 2 outs. Hammonds will put a shot over to third. A great play there by Coca. He bobbles the ball, makes the throw, and a beautiful pick by Remy Hart to retire the side. But not before the Zap score 5. They lead 6-0 heading to the top of the third here at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Think Speaking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
The Bolt wins again. Starting to build a bit of a hot streak here at Hyde Stadium. So he gets a nice win. Fuller back out on the mound for his third inning of work. That one just misses high for ball one. And I've been telling him for weeks, the Bolt has got to get some more showboaty celebrations in. He has really got to get this crowd on his back. The 1-0 misses high again for ball two.
Yeah, it's hard because everybody's rooting against the Bolt.
That's what it's supposed to be.
You want to see the average Joe go out there and beat what is supposed to be the fastest guy in the ballpark.
2-0. This is for ball three, so quickly at risk of a 4-pitch walk. Fuller got out of a jam earlier. Zap have been good at limiting those leadoff walks as of late, but see the 3-0, and that one misses high and inside. A 4-pitch leadoff walk. And just after a huge inning for the Zap, a 5-run frame capped off by a Garen Gledhill double, who knocked in Emiliano Curiel, who doubled just before him to score a couple of runs. And Josh Day was so close to getting out of that jam.
Yeah, he sure was, wasn't he?
Got the first strikeout, had Pugrad behind the count 0-2, threw a pitch that looked like a strike, didn't get the call, and then Pugrad with the sac fly. Fuller misses high. And then Emiliano Curiel, a charge into right for a bases clearing double, and then Garen Gledhill ripping a ball into right field as well for a double to score. Curiel doing the damage for the Zap. Fuller fires that one in there for strike one. So Fuller finding the zone after 5 straight walks, or 5 straight balls, I should say. He hasn't walked 5 batters. That would take a while. As Fuller trying to work out of this one. That one will help. Strike 2. Good pitch from Fuller to get back in here. Now ahead in the count 1-2. I believe we already have a first base substitution. Quinn Ludvigsen now in at first instead of Connor Hammonds. 1-2, misses off the plate for ball 2. So we'll try to get an update on if Hammonds maybe tweaked something on his run to first base. See, he just took the last at-bat of the last inning, but that is Quinn Ludvigsen over there at first now.
That was fast, wasn't it?
2-2, chopped back towards Pugrad. Unable to field it cleanly again. And Pugrad going to be kicking himself for that one tonight.
Yeah, it's two, pretty bad errors on the behalf of Jared Pugrad over at short, who's not really in a position to be making errors, with Gavin Frazier, who's kind of been your go-to shortstop all season long. Pugrad kind of getting plugged and played and getting an opportunity to show off his stuff. 2 errors is not exactly what you want to do through 2 innings.
Fuller comes set, bunt shown, drifts foul, and Pugrad had 2 on his mind that entire play, maybe even so to where he couldn't get the ball into his glove, but both of these errors have been on balls where he's been charging up and towards his left. So they'd be dragging him past second base, but just a couple of untimely errors, and it feels like they've kind of been just causing these Fuller jams that he's been having to get out of. Ludvigsen way up for the bunt.
He's almost in the batter's box.
Pulls the bunt back, swings that one foul. Sam Benz shown bunt for the longest time, and Quinn Ludvigson was not scared of it at all. It's like when Wilson Contreras did that for the Cardinals earlier this season, was all the way up. All his teammates are telling him to get back. If he puts a hold of this, it's going to hit you, and you're going to be hurting. Ludvigson not scared there. The 0-2 just misses inside for ball one. Sam Benz was yesterday's starter. He re-entered the game to hit later on, which we were questioning if that was even legal. Still trying to locate an ILB rule book, so it'll stand for now. 1-2 from Fuller. That one swung, drilled into right. Settling under it is Hoffman. Tagging is the runner from second. A good throw. Now back to second, not in time. So both of the runners will tag up. It was originally just the runner from second going, but some aggressive heads-up base running will get two runners in scoring position. Sam Benz knocking Josh Day and Rhett Rogers around.
That was a great throw over there from Hoffman out of right. From that trajectory, it looked like he was going to get him. Now, the throw pulled Johnson off the bag just a bit.
Fuller comes set. That one gets away from Cadena. It's going to be a play at the plate. He can't get the ball. It hit the backstop and skipped the other way. So a runner will score for the Bison. The runner will advance to third. So Josh Day comes around to score, giving himself some run support. And Rhett Rogers now standing at third base.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that Jake Fuller was too pleased with Noah Cadena's effort there to block that pitch. There was a long look back at Cadena after he got to the ball, and then still some words being said, and Ludvigson had to come over and calm him down.
1-0 misses high for ball two.
Right now, I think Cadena wants to go have a talk with Fuller about that last little sequence there.
Certainly some adversity here. The Bison yet to get a hit, but they have scored already in this ball game, which is an oddity that you will not see very often.
One run on no hits.
Yeah, you don't see that one. It's like how the Reds no-hit a team and lost that game.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things to give my friends back home grief about is you threw a no-hitter, but you lost, which is just probably one of the oddest baseball games ever. It's Fuller behind in the count 2-0. Comes set and fires. That one, check swing, strike. No appeal. He said he went around it. I think it looked good regardless. So Fuller getting back in this at-bat. Strike one. Trying to work out of this jam without giving up another run. 2-1 offering in there for strike two. Cadena was focused on framing it. Couldn't keep it in the glove, but it passed through the strike zone. That's all that matters for Fuller. Trying to not put anything in the dirt and let Rhett Rogers come in and score. The 2-2, that one. 3 straight strikes for Fuller. Gets him going down looking.
What a great sequence. Good off-speed pitches out of there from Jake Fuller. Whatever Cadena said to Jake Fuller there, it obviously worked. But you're not out of the woods yet. You got Curtis Lindsey in the batter's box. And one swing of the bat from Lindsey could cut this to a 3-run ball game, so you got to be careful with him.
Yeah, you got Gannon Hall down, who has been oh so impressive, but it doesn't end when you got Curtis Lindsey behind him. That one misses off the plate for ball one. Gannon Hall and Lindsey have been a very nice 1-2 punch in this Bison lineup. First we saw out of Hall in game one, he had a ball die at the warning track due to some strong winds, and then 2 doubles later in the game as Lindsey skies that one towards the right field line. Ludvigson giving chase, and that one's going to drop in fair play. Frazier bare hand throws it back in to keep Lindsey at first, but the runner will score for the second of the inning for the Bison.
Cheap hit for the first one on the day. Curtis Lindsey dropping that. You want to talk about no man's land? That is absolutely it. You had 3 Zap players all within about 1 foot radius of where that ball dropped. It was kind of funny. Quinn Ludvigson, he took his hat off right as he turned to sprint after that ball, as if it was going to inhibit him from making that play. I've never seen that before.
Fuller misses high and outside for ball 1. So it's a momentum building here for the Bison after they allowed 5 in the bottom of the second. They've got a 2-run third building here against Fuller. That one misses off the plate again for ball 2. Fuller already 4 strikeouts in this one, but has had some control issues in this inning. He had that leadoff walk that kind of started all of this, and then it's kind of been spiraling down as he fires in a strike there.
But that's why you love to have the support of your offense the way that they can do, especially with those 2-out hits that we see all along. Totally different ball game with that 5-run frame.
2-1. Grounded softly towards Frazier, firing to Ludvigsen in time for the 3rd out of the inning. The Zap give up a couple, but they still lead 6-2. We'll be right back here on River 92.7 in the Oahe Zap YouTube.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Back here after the Bison strike a couple as the Oahe Zap trying to keep this lead going. A 6-2 ball game. Aiden Johnson stepping into the batter's box as the Bison added 2 runs. Got their first hit of the ball game on a cheap one from Curtis Lindsey. Probably wasn't the swing he imagined, but he got the job done. Johnson watches off speed in for ball 1. And the Zap, a big second inning, a 5-run spot. Aiden Johnson waiting the 1-0 offering. Day sets fires. That one slipped out of his hand, misses high for ball 2. Johnson back at third today. We saw him at second yesterday as he's been moving all around the diamond. 2-0 from Johnson, misses low. To Johnson, I should say, from Day. So Johnson quickly ahead in the count 3-0. Saw him after he hit that home run a couple of weeks ago where he walked 5 straight times after. What's been so impressive about Aiden Johnson has been very patient at the plate. That one in there for strike 1. Johnson thought that one was the ball, was getting ready to walk towards first. The ump will not give it to him.
Yeah, and just wanted to clarify about some of our commentary earlier. I guess my commentary earlier
3-1 to Johnson, skips behind.
See if he tries to steal second on that one. About Jared Pugrad, I'm assuming Jared Pugrad's errors. Seems that somebody thought we were putting him down, which was never the intent. We never try to put anybody down, whether they're on the opponent team or on the home team. And the only reason that I said what I said and the way that I said it was because Pugrad is such an outstanding player and how uncharacteristic it is for him to make errors like that. So if anybody was put off by that, I am sorry that they mistook what I said that way.
Johnson on first, Frazier at the plate. That one skips in for ball 1.
Because I certainly wasn't putting Pugrad down in any way. The kid is a fantastic player, and it's uncharacteristic to see him make plays like that.
He has slotted in very nicely into the Zap team as
Boy,
became
hasn't
an
he.
everyday starter.
You got to be pretty good to play to move Gavin Frazier out of that shortstop position.
1-0 to Frazier, in there for strike 1. And the Zap have had I don't envy Jamie Habiger. Has been some hard lineup decisions as of late when a lot of players have been starting to hit their stride at the right part of the season. It's going to make for some difficult lineup decisions. 1-1 to Frazier. That one just misses low for ball 2. As Gavin Frazier trying to get another inning started here for the Zap. It was a leadoff walk for Aiden Johnson to start things off. Nobody away. Frazier heading the count 2-1. Day trying to regain control of this start after a 5-run second. Fires in. That one skips in. Good block from Mason Lang to keep that one from the backstop. Josh Day. Only 44 pitches thrown, so maybe setting himself up to maybe be able to go a couple more innings. The Bison could certainly be due for a long outing out of a starter. They don't have a lot of pitchers rostered. Every inning, every extra batter you can get out of a pitcher is going to be crucial for them with their small roster. Johnson heads for second, a hit and run. He's going to have to come back. Gavin Frazier skying that one towards right. Settling under it, making the play is Sam Benz. I didn't think they'd do a hit and run for Aiden Johnson this season, but
I don't know how Frazier got up to that ball that high in the zone. I mean, that one came across kind of at his eyelids, but he got to it. That's the issue with hit and run. Sometimes you don't get the best pitch to hit on. And Frazier's still getting to that one. And while we're on the topic, I do want to just clarify, again, we're not putting anybody down on this broadcast. And I'm sorry that someone misunderstood.
Andrew Phillips fouls that one off for strike 1.
Our play-by-play of us saying what happened on the field is putting a player down. But it's summer baseball, and we're not here to put anybody down. We're here to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's the last I'll say about that.
So we see Phillips trying to move Johnson around. Had to come back on that hit and run attempt. It's not often that Aiden Johnson goes out to steal, and I'm still wondering how Gavin Frazier got a bat on that pitch, as that one misses outside Phillips.
And he almost hit it out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good swing. It kept going, and that ball was about as tall as he was. I mean, he was swinging around at his face area, but it was a stay-alive swing on a 3-1 where they sent Johnson in motion as Phillips clobbers one through into the outfield. A hard-hit grounder, moves station to station. A nice hit there from Andrew Phillips.
Yeah, it was. Nice little gap to find that one through. That could have been hit to somebody in the infield, and it might have still gotten through. He hit that so hard.
That one was well struck, to say the least, as Noah Cadena climbs in the batter's box, trying to get things going. Another bit of a rally inning here for the Zap. There's not 2 outs yet, so they might not be at their full strength yet. As Cadena awaits the 0-0 from Day, swings through it for strike 1.
Good off-speed pitch. He's gotten a couple good off-speed pitches to get some swings and misses today.
And despite giving up those 6 runs, he has still had some pitches that have just looked lethal at times. And Day, that was his 53rd pitch of the ball game. So we'll see if there's any motion out of their bullpen anytime soon. Cadena swings through that one for strike 2.
Another good off-speed pitch.
That was back-to-back nice pitches from Day to try to work himself out of this one-out jam. Johnson on second, Phillips on first. Cadena at the plate, 1 away for the Zap. They lead 6-2 on this beautiful day. A beautiful Saturday here at the ballpark, and Cadena going to get that one into some real estate in center field. Pokes it out, and Johnson will come around to score. A nice piece of hitting there from Cadena just to guide it back to where it came from. And it's a 1-out RBI for the Oahe Zap.
Noah Cadena probably feels like he's got a hit every time he comes up to the plate after what he did to his own team yesterday. So good for him. You still owe the Zap 1, Noah.
And I got to talk to him last night as I was collecting some stuff out of the Bison dugout, and I was like, man, when you told me at Media Day that you wanted to hit your 4th home run of your career, I didn't think you were going to do it in another team's jersey. And he said, me either,
I was going to say, he probably didn't either.
Brings Tyler Hoffman to the dish. That one runs inside for ball 1. So runners on the corner for the Zap. 1 is scored. We'll see if they send anybody in motion here with 1 away. Cadena staying very close to the first base bag. Not a very big leadoff for him. Hoffman trying to get his campaign started off right as Cadena runs that one. He's going to be out in time, but Phillips will come in to score. So the Zap trading an out for a run. I'd say a decent trade getting that lead back up to 6.
I think so, too. An outstanding throw from Mason Lang. Perfectly placed. Catcher getting catcher thrown out there.
I couldn't believe Cadena went on that one. He had a non-existent lead.
Well, I also am curious as to what the Bison coaching staff would have wanted Mason Lang to do there.
A 1-1.
Had it been your own catcher, would you have said, please don't?
I guess we'll find out if they get their catcher in town in time, as that's been a struggle trying to get a catcher in that room. As Hoffman now with nobody on, 2 away, ahead in the count 2-1, drills that one into left field. That one going to get down. Nice piece of hitting for Tyler Hoffman, and he's chugging for 2, and he's going to be in there sliding. Electric base running from Tyler Hoffman. That one looked like a single all the way, but he kept on chugging, and a 2-out double for Tyler Hoffman.
That's the example of aggressive base running that the Zap have been looking for all season long, whether it be stealing or running running with intent out of the box. Yeah. Because now if you're Jared Pugrad, you've got a runner in scoring position here when half the time, maybe half the runners would have stayed put at first. So credit Tyler Hoffman for really legging that out and wanting 2 off the bat.
Josh Day now having to face Jared Pugrad. That one misses off the plate for ball 1. Pugrad, a really impressive at-bat his last time up, was behind in the count 0-2 before getting a close strike call his way for a ball and then putting a nice charge into left field on a great catch from Curtis Lindsey to save multiple runs. As the 1-0 to Pugrad, skied towards third base, drifting foul. We'll see if Coca can bring it in, and he does for the 3rd out of the inning.
Pugrad's been just killed by some really good defensive plays out there by both now center fielder, now third baseman. He's just gotten – it'll come sooner or later for Pugrad. He's putting the ball in some good spots.
Yeah, that one didn't feel routine towards the third base line. A nice play from Coca to end the inning. We'll be right back here for the top of the 4th. The Oahe Zap lead 8-2.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
And we're back here at Hyde Stadium with a very, very special guest on Bark in the Park Day. No, it's not my dog, Charlie. It's owner of the Oahe Zap and now the Bison Baseball Club, Mr. Bob Habiger, as we get Bob set up here on the headset. We were wondering when we were going to have the opportunity to have you up in the booth, and here you are.
It was. I had the option tonight of either shock or come up to the booth, so I came up.
Well, it looks like you still might have the option of shock because Shock called it quits after the first inning.
Yeah, he didn't last too long.
So is this it's got to be pretty cool for you, Bob, to see two of your teams out here kind of battling it out in front of a really, really solid crowd here on a Saturday night. And, we've been talking about the Bison and how this is a new team for them. This is a new season, and probably not looking for wins right now, but looking for bright spots. And I think we're seeing some bright spots out of the team. One in Ethan Miller, the pitches that he threw in relief. Saw some great pitches out of Josh Day here, but got to be a pretty cool opportunity to see this, and some mid-inning games that just probably great to see a lot of folks having fun here at the ballpark.
Kid. It is. It is a lot of fun, and with the Bison, you can see just in the third game right now improvement. They're getting along, teams coming together, and they made some good plays out there. They've got a pretty good hitting team, good defensive team, and I think they'll have some success this year.
And a team that's gotten better throughout the season for sure has been this Oahe Zap Ball Club, and the offense has certainly picked up as we see Fuller back out on the mound here for the top of the fourth inning, and he will start off with a ball on the outside corner. But, Bob, with winning comes crowds, as Fuller comes with the 1-0. That misses high for ball two. But winning comes crowds, and we're starting to see some more turnout here, and, it's a lot of great events and a lot of great stuff for this community to take part of with the Zap. Here's the pitch from Fuller. That one chopped towards third. Johnson getting a backhand. Bobbles, fires across the diamond. There's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's it's good to see the crowds increasing, and that's one of the things that we're doing. We're trying to do, start it this year for next year, as a dugout club. Get some community members involved. What do you like? What do you enjoy coming to the club or ballpark? What can we do? What maybe we don't have to do next time? It isn't so good for everyone.
It'll bring up Remy Hart here for the Bison as he fouls that one off into the netting. Another great thing that you guys do is Bolt Buddies, and that's creating some very young Zap fans and kind of festering that fanship with the earlier crowd.
Yeah, we've liked the number of kids we've had out for that.
Here's the 0-1 to Hart. That one's chopped up the middle. Beautiful play by Fuller. He's going to trot over and toss that one underhanded to Quinn Ludvigsen. And just like that, there's two outs. So a quick 1-2 top of the fourth here. Let's see if he can get the third.
Our Bolt Buddies, that goes, just, again, to the community. We are a peers team, and we want to get the kids involved young. Post-8, a lot of those players. I think we might even have a post-8 player playing for us tomorrow for the Bison. But it's promote baseball in the community.
Lang is hitting fake charges Fuller on the mound.
And that's part of the fun that is had here at the ballpark with Mason Lang going across, and now both Fuller and Lang with their hands up, all in good fun and all in good spirits. But, Bob, it's you and your son, Jamie, have owned this team, and it's got to be not only great for you to see this kind of all coming to fruition, but to get to share that with your son and have this experience together has got to be very, very cool, as the first pitch will miss high up high to Josh Day. But I got to imagine that's a great experience for both of you.
It is. To spend the summer with them on a baseball diamond is, very special.
Fuller coming set. Taking a quick peek over there at Mason Lang, now delivering today. That off-speed pitch finds its way in for strike one. And this team is playing great baseball right now as we get into the second half of the season. Feels like the momentum has been carrying into the second half as Zap looked to make a playoff push. Lang going to fake the steal. Day will take strike two on another good off-speed pitch. But, you know, it's a far cry from what this team was on day one, and there's something to be said about the job that Jamie has done kind of getting these guys rallied together and getting them to feel comfortable as a team as this season's gone on.
Yeah, I think, you know, what helped us out this year is Jamie's got a couple of assistant coaches. In the years past, he was doing everything by himself, and it's a lot to do to take care of everything, and it's worked out good. Devin's been a big addition.
They try the pickoff once again.
2 pickoff attempts that haven't gotten Lang, but as you were saying.
Yeah, and Wiggins, you know, a player from last year, knows the program, and for him to come back and start his career with us it's nice.
They're going to make Lang work over there on first base. 3 straight pickoff attempts. And Lang really is getting about a 3 or 4 foot lead over there, too.
I want to see him steal here, man.
There he goes.
Yes, he's going.
Cadena will throw down. That one's going to go out into center field, but we've got time on the field. As Lang will have to hustle to third. It'll probably have to hustle back to first or wherever they're going to put him. I believe they might have called a balk on Jake Fuller there for not coming fully set. So Lang will get second base one way or the other.
That's fun stuff right there. And a chance tonight with a win to match the winning record of the previous 2 Zap teams. It feels like it's still early here, but kind of building that momentum every year, winning more than the last. What does that kind of mean to you, kind of seeing the uprise?
Oh, I think to be able to win tonight, to match that, you know, every year you want to get better. And, you know, just overall, I think the fan experience, just the announcing right here. Evan did a great job last year, but to have 2 people in the booth, having Eli on the cameras, our cameras, you know, every year we've gotten better, and the team has too. And so it's exciting. I think last year we kind of ran out of pitching, I think, towards the end of the season, and I hope, you know, I think this year, I'm knocking on wood, but there you go. Thank you. And
it's drywall, but
okay.
It's a routine.
It's an inside joke that you are enough clued in on here, Bob.
I was looking here. Okay. But, I feel pretty good about the schedule, and it should be good for us.
Well, it also helps when you got a couple games where your team scores 23 runs. I think Dylan and I could go out there in relief and still probably pull out a win for you.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be too sure.
I would hope.
Hey, new social media video idea. Come on, let me take the mound before Alex.
Well, I think we have one. Get back to it here. But
here's the 2-2 from Fuller today. That'll miss high, runs the count
Jandy
full.
is claiming she can beat the Bolt. So
no
I don't
shot.
know. I know. I think that's something we may have to see.
Is there? We see all these mid-inning games, and there's so much fun that gets the crowd involved. Is there one that you have kind of seen that you think would be fun for you to take part in?
Not really. I don't.
Fuller misses outside, and he was headed back to the dugout.
I think we can leave that to the fans.
You don't want to do the tug of war?
Tug of war, no. That might be the one I could do, maybe. But I could anchor for him.
This will be the payoff pitch here from Fuller today. Long look in from Fuller. Lang's still standing on second base, and this one is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will retire the side. Bob will keep you here in the inning break as we're having a great time talking with you. But we've seen a lot of communities get involved, in not only communities but companies as well. UPS is here tonight. The Pier Wildcats are another big organization and that has come out, and we see them in numbers. But, you know, how important has it been for you to not only get the community aspect but also a lot of these companies to really buy in on this team?
Oh, I think that's really important to our success here in Pier is to get the companies and going back to the community again behind us. And the Wildcats, we really appreciate them. Carla and Michelle do a lot for us. We do, you know, help them out. But Jamie and Emily both are Special Olympics. They run those in Sacramento.
Sure.
During the time when they're home. So to be able to come out here and step in and help the Wildcats out has just been pretty natural for them, and it's been real good. And, you know, they're really good people. They've support us and come out to the games. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, I think they're probably some of our biggest fans of the
I
Pierre
think
Wildcats.
so, yeah.
They're just about every game, rain or
Yep.
shine. You know, it's interesting. It's very rare that you see an owner with two teams in the same league, but the opportunity for you to buy the Bison was almost too good to pass up. Can you fill us in on that story?
You know,
a little bit?
I'm not sure how it all came about. Our previous general manager was more involved, but it came up to where the Bison were leaving Laramie, so the Bison were for sale, and they had some fees that were due, and the owner just didn't want to get involved anymore, so we picked up what he wanted for it, and we have the Bison. So, and we're actively trying to find a home for them.
And here we are.
Yeah. Well, here we are right now as a travel team, but we'd like to find a permanent home and build up the Independence League baseball. It's get another solid hometown team in. And we've made an unofficial visit to Watertown, and I don't know what's going on up there, but that's a great old stadium. That would be one of the places. We want to keep the team in South Dakota. We did put an offer in to go to Grand Island, Nebraska. We haven't heard back from them, but they wanted a team there. That would be our second choice probably. But
Case IH plant down there. It's a nice town.
Yeah, I've never really been there, but being from South Dakota, Watertown's an hour from our farm in Ramona, and to drive out here, it would be a nice triangle to run and see our teams play. So I'm going to really, in the off season, push for that. We'll see what happens.
I was going to ask you about potential locations, but Grand Island would be a nice place. That is a lovely town. I have been there before.
And that's why we sent a proposal in for them. They had a request for proposals, and we sent one in, and as I say, we haven't heard back, but they've done a lot of work to the ball field there. It's a great atmosphere to be playing him down there too, and I like the population. It's maybe 2 or 3 times bigger than Pierre.
Well, I can't wait to see where the Bison end up, because I am just in love with the merch that they have got. I'm a big fan of some of the Zap merch that I've got, but I'm not sure you can beat a Bison with a mullet swinging a baseball bat on anything.
Josh Day coming set to start the bottom of the 4th inning, and a miss inside to Emiliano Curiel.
And that logo is probably why we have the team. So
I can bet.
It came with it.
That is worth the purchase.
We saw that. It was.
Here's the 1-0 to Curiel. He chops that one off the plate, going to bounce foul down the third base line. No, it sure is, and I remember going into the Oahe Zap office and seeing that Bison sticker, and I grabbed it. I said, what is this, and how do I get more of this stuff?
I will say this. Whoever set the Bison, the Gem City Bison, they did a great job. It was logos. They did a fantastic job.
Here's the 1-1 to Curiel. Day with another good off-speed pitch. That one just missing a bit high.
And we want to carry it on to the next level for them. So hopefully they can look back and one day and say, hey, we started that.
We need a artist out there to drop a version of Shock like that. We need to get him on some merchandise.
Curiel waiting the 2-1 pitch. And off-speed is just devastating. It'll miss high, but it had Curiel sure guessing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we can see what we can do with Shock.
Here's the 3-1 to Curiel. That one runs inside, and a 5-pitch walk will put the leadoff runner on for the Zap. You know, Bob, we've had players, we've had a couple coaches join us up here in the broadcast booth, and one thing that still rings true, and I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but everybody talks about the community and this ballpark and kind of this setting. And, you know, it just feels like this is where this team should be. But the community outturn and kind of the outreach and response has been fantastic. As that one will fire it into Garen Glenhill for strike one. But the community response, like we said, winning helps, but it's great to see numbers like this kind of showing out here, enjoying their Saturday night at Hyde Stadium as Glenhill takes strike two.
Yeah, we're excited about it. It's funny, you know, I came back to watch Jamie when he was managing the Trappers, the old team that was here. And I was impressed with the numbers and the kids. And after the game, we're having dinner, and I was just mentioning it to him, you know, if anything like this would ever come up, this would be a great deal for us to get into. And that year, that winter, it came about that Pierre was looking for a new baseball team, and here we are.
Yeah.
So
Talon Field has taken over pitching duties here for the Bison, and he's ahead of Glen Hill 0-2. Here's the pitch, and that one just a bit outside.
And
ball one to Glen Hill.
And it truly is a family affair. I know you got your brother and stuff with you today and this series. What does that kind of mean to bring the whole family out to the ballpark with you on these trips?
No, I enjoy it. He flew in from San Diego for the weekend, the 4th holiday, and watch the games. And, yeah, it's good. We go out there. He takes us to Petco for the Padres, so I thought I would treat him to the Zap.
There you go. Pretty fair trade-off.
Yeah, those are on the same level.
It was questionable. You know, I didn't ask anything from him, so it's been a lot of fun.
Well, you got him down to the parade yesterday, and I feel like that's probably about as good as Petco Park.
They were impressed with the parade. You know, the Fort Pierre parade, that's something special.
Pretty spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Glen Hill went down swinging. That'll bring up Quinn Ludvigsen with one out. Field will pick off over to first base. Back diving safely is Curiel. And we've still, you and I were talking before the game, with the Bison, still kind of a growing team and still trying to find their footing. But 2 big series coming in against Hastings and the Casper Spuds next week. Curiel taking off for second, no throw from Lang. He'll be in there standing safely. But that's one that we feel like we got to have a big community response, big crowds to try to help move our team and to get some wins in those games. And so what would be your pitch to the fans that are kind of on the fence about coming out to those weeknight games?
Well, for the weeknight games, it would be payback for Hastings. Come out and watch the Zap.
Ludvigsen will watch ball 1 bounce in, or ball 2 rather.
We had a struggle in Hastings beginning of the year and in Casper's, so it's going to be nice to get them on our home fields later in the year. We're playing good baseball. It's going to be some good baseball games. It's going to be real competitive. They both have solid clubs.
Ludvigsen will chop that one towards the right side. Past a diving Curtis Lindsay. Curiel rounding third, heading for home. Throw is going to come in, but no avail. Ludvigsen taken off for second base. Great effort by Curtis Lindsay, who got moved from center over to first base, but he couldn't glove that one. It's 9-2 Zap here at the bottom of the 4th inning.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen a first baseman dive like that.
We've seen a couple great extensions out of Curtis Lindsay in this series, including that one right there.
Good. He's a good ball player.
Yeah, the Bison have certainly had some good-looking spouts during this series. We kind of talked about wanting to see them back at Hyde Stadium so we could see the growth throughout the season, but we've kind of seen it throughout just this series alone.
That one misses high for ball 1.
Yeah, for those guys, I told them it's about purpose. You got a purpose. Come out here and have a purpose when you come to practice. Forget records or anything else. Improve yourself. Go back and improve your teams in the fall. And there are a bunch of good guys on the Bison, good ball players that want to play, and I think they're going to be a pretty good team at the end of the year.
And what's kind of the recruiting process looking like for it next season as field comes set? Aiden Johnson just fouled one off down the left field line. Now he'll take strike 2 on the outside corner. But as you go and try to grow this team and grow this organization and find great players, what's kind of the process behind that?
Well, there's a few players that want to only play a month out of the season.
1-2 will miss high to Johnson.
As you
up at 2.
See by the Zap, some of the players are taken off. We have new players coming in. So to find the ones that want to play for the Bison just travel team, that's it's a little more of a struggle.
Johnson fouls that one off, and I'm sure there's a lot of rewarding parts to this whole thing, but for you, what kind of is it that keeps you coming back to the ballpark every day? That's kind of the most rewarding part for you each day.
To see how the kids do, see how you read, you look at stats, look at film, or look at something else, see how they play, see if what you've made the decision on, see if Jamie's decision, see how we did, and just the growth. That's
2-2 all over again to Johnson. And that one falls in there for strike 3. Johnson will go down looking. That's the second out of the inning. With Ludvigsen on second, we know how good this 2-out offense has been for the Zap as of late. It'll be Gavin Frazier who will try to bring him home. And we do have a lot of home games coming up, majority home games for the rest of the season. What else is to come here with some of these great events that we've got going on, just like we have tonight?
I know we've got another Jersey night.
That one bounces into Lang. He can't find it, boots it away, and that'll give the opportunity to Quinn Ludvigsen to take third. So now he stands 90 feet away.
I think July 12th will be one of our biggest nights. That's our Chislik night.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
That's been real popular in the past.
A lot of fun going on here at Hyde Stadium when the Zap are in town. 9-2 is the Zap lead. And that one will miss inside for ball 2 to Gavin Frazier.
There's certainly a couple of just gorgeous Jersey nights coming up.
Field coming set, the 2-0 off the plate through the glove of Lang, and no reach from Ludvigsen, but the throw back to Field will get by him, and now Quinn Ludvigsen will be able to score. He didn't do it on the wild pitch, but he did it on the wild throw back to the covering pitcher in Talon Field, and it's 10-2 Zap.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see them making those kind of plays at the end, towards the end of the year. That's.
But are we kind of hitting the nail on the head with what the Bison are looking for? As Frazier will take a ball off the plate, 4-pitch walk. Is that kind of what this team feels like it needs to be doing right now, trying to find some of those bright spots, find those talented guys, and try to figure out where to put them?
I think so. You can see, Lindsay at first base. He was in center field. He played a great center field. Good first baseman, but I don't know where the rest of the guys fit in, the rest of the roster. And that Story Trey, to have him come back and coach the Bison, he played for the Zap last year.
Right.
Starting a coaching career with us, so to see these kids come back is
as Phillips swings and misses at strike one, and we see Wiggins, who was a player last year. Now he's
come back and start his career here. It's great to be able to help those guys out.
Probably feels important to have a guy that knows how the league works, kind of knows the grind of the schedule. Frazier off and running for second. No throw from Mason Lang as strike 2 catches the outside corner for Andrew Phillips, and he's behind 0-2.
Yeah, the league and how the road games, the travel involved in it, and how do you have to treat it day by day? It's hard.
Phillips will take ball 1 on the outside corner. Well, Bob, we know you've got family in town, and we'll let you run, but we just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us up here.
Thank you, guys. Doing a great job. Appreciate it.
And anytime you want to join us up here in the broadcast booth, we've got the extra headset for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Here's the 1-2 to Phillips. That one fouled off the end of the bat. No, it catches Martin right there on the shoulder as he's changing up the lineup card. Bob talking about our attempts to catch the foul ball that flies up here. Bob, it's more about the look of it than anything else. There's a 1-2 coming into Andrew Phillips, and that'll just miss outside. Good to have Bob Habiger, one of the owners, along with his son Jamie, as we mentioned. I told my dad, I said, if you want to do something father and son, and you want to buy a baseball team, I'll happily chip in a couple bucks. As Phillips on a 1-2 count, 2-2 count, drives this one into left. On comes Gannon Hall, sticks the glove down, and makes a great catch to retire the side. But the Zap score 2. They've scored in all 4 innings in this ball game. They lead 10-2. We head to the top of the 5th after this on River 92.7.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Some defensive substitutions for the Zap as Ty Farwell behind the plate. Fuller still out on the bump, continuing his day with a lot of run support. He gave up 2 in the top of the third, but the Zap have scored in every inning of this ball game to build a 10-2 lead. As we just said goodbye to owner Bob Habiger, the best boss in the business, as he goes back to spend some well-deserved time with his family at the ballpark as Fuller misses for ball 1.
Yeah, just a cool guy, too. Bob's a great guy to talk to. Always got a smile on his face and always wants to have a conversation.
1-0, misses for ball 2. And a guy, if you're ever at Hyde Stadium, you certainly want to go talk to
him.
He is about the friendliest guy you'll meet, and he will talk to you all day if you want to, as that one misses for strike 1.
And he will be, if you don't know what he looks like, just look for one of the oldest guys wearing a Zap jersey.
Yeah, and he always has just such festive outfits on just for the occasions. That one in there for strike 2.
That's not to say he's old, because he's a young buck, but you don't see many guys past college age wearing Zap jerseys at these games. But Bob just looks like the owner of the Zap. Always got his gear on.
2-2, that one a check swing in play. Bazansky fielding, firing over in time to Ludvigsen at first for the first out of the inning.
Good. It's great to see Fuller still out on the mound.
Yeah, he has been rolling through this game. That was his 76th pitch of the ball game. So he gets out of it. The infield, a bit of a change for the Zap. It's Johnson, Pugrad, Bazansky, and Ludvigsen. Farwell behind the plate. Outfield changes. Has Alex Jackson out in left now. As that one going to be an early test for him. Skied towards left, Jackson charging and making the play for the second out of the inning.
Talk about efficiency there, Dylan.
That is about as good as it gets. One pitch for the second out of the inning. Andrew Phillips still out there in center. And it's Jake Daly now out and right. So some defensive subs for the Zap, as a lot of guys have been playing some half games to stay fresh, as they're going to need them all down the stretch, as Fuller fires in a first pitch strike. So the only players remaining in for the Zap after that who haven't either already subbed in is that one skied towards Pugrad, charging, firing to first on a bullet from Pugrad. Makes the third out. He charged a soft fly ball and threw an absolute laser over to Ludvigsen. 1-2-3 for the Zap. Keeps the lead at 10-2. We'll be right back here for the bottom of the 5th.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night, so get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Short break gets us back in time for the tug of war. Bob Habiger said this was probably the one event he could do. He's not out there. I would love to see that.
Did he say that, or we just imagined
No,
that?
he said that was the one event he probably could do. I don't think he wants to do any of them.
I don't think he. If you go out and you do the tug of war and you see Bryce Van de Wastein on the other side, you turn and you leave the diamond. This is a pretty stalwart right here.
Bryce is probably going to hop in with the winning team, as Nick Golden versus Hudson Ivy and a bunch of kids. Nick Golden getting the early advantage. This is a battle. Hudson Ivy and crew are pulling it back. Nick Golden losing his footing, and Hudson Ivy and crew will be victorious. Hudson Ivy in his return to the Zap getting a big tug-of-war victory That was, I think, our most even contest we've had all year.
Yeah, that was good to see because it was a lot of kids and only 2 Zap players.
Yeah.
Usually it's like 7 or 8 Zap players and like 3 or 4 kids.
And typically it's like a team of like 5 middle school boys versus some elementary school girls, and then a guy like Esteban Baca will be like, come on guys, let's go help the lesser matched team, and then someone like Vince Polizzi will hop in on the other side, and it's not even fair anymore. So that was a good even matchup. If Brooks Cartwright drafted out those teams,
well
I'm tipping
done,
my
young
cap
man.
to
Well
him.
done.
That was a good matchup right there at Bark at the Park.
And we got a little bit of antics going on from Devin Skelton. He's got bubble gum on the bottom of the Pepsi cup, and he's
got
put
Jake
it
Daly
on top of Jake Daly's helmet, and he's going to go up to the plate with a cup on his head before Ty Farwell takes ball one outside. Sorry to take your play-by-play here, Dylan, but this is outstanding. We've got Jake Daly standing in the on-deck circle with a cup stuck to the top of his helmet.
Yeah, that is some good stuff there as Farwell watches that one low.
You know, you see some of this stuff. You see some of this stuff in the MLB. You see hot foot where they'll stick some matches along with some bubble gum to the back of their foot that light the matches.
2-0 to Farwell, misses off the plate for ball 3.
But all of that's in the dugout. You don't really ever see it out in the on-deck circle where they're playing a joke on the guy.
And Coach Skelton came out and was like giving him some advice, had his arm around him and everything. Was probably asking him how his day's been going, and then the back stab with the cup on the head as Farwell watches an outside strike for the first.
Folks, if you're listening on River 92.7, I implore you to pull up the Oahe Zap YouTube and watch Jake Daly's upcoming at bat.
Even if you're driving, pull it up.
Pull over and then pull it up as this one's skied by Farwell into no man's land and left. Nice play over there by Talonfield. Talonfield's on the mound. But all right, here we go. Let's see if Daly can get a hit with the cup on his head.
Please, this is going to be my favorite play-by-play of the year. I want to see if the cup's going to fall off his head or if anyone's going to be nice enough to mention it.
Well, luckily they got Mason Lang back there, so he's not going to
do it.
His teammates, and now Mason Lang looks back at his home plate umpire sights, and they're all looking around like, what in the world is going on?
Comes set, the 0-0 to Daly, runs inside and hits him.
And he wears it.
He wears it. That one, I'm shocked it didn't hit him in the cup.
It could have hit him. Which cup are you talking about?
They should have aimed for the top one, as he's still got that helmet on.
And credit to the Bison as well, because they're not giving away the trick either.
He still has it on over there at first base now as Pugrad steps in to the right-handed batter's box. Daly slides back in, and it's still there. That is some strong bubble gum.
And now Coach Wiggins thought about putting his bubble gum in the cup there, but they said, no, don't do that. We don't want it to fall off.
That one skips past Lang, and there he goes. We are sorry for any radio listeners, but you have just got to tune in for this.
Or you know what? Do you one better. Come by Hyde Stadium
and watch.
And you know what? If you got your dog in the car with you, it's Bark in the Park night, so you're fine. But watching him run, it looks like he's got an antenna sticking out of his top of his head.
That one runs inside, just catching a bit of the zone on Pugrad.
And I think we should explain a little bit better. Devin Skelton put some bubble gum on the bottom of one of those paper Pepsi cups.
Pugrad watches that one in the other batting box for ball 2.
And he went out to talk to Jake Daly and give him some words of advice. And, you know, coaches will often put their arms around their back or put their hands on their helmet. And he did that, but with the cup in his hand.
Pugrad wears that one off the knee. That one probably didn't feel very good.
It's not been the day for Pugrad. He's hit 2 really well-hit balls, and the one in center field was stolen away by Lindsay, went flying through the air. Then Pugrad put one down the left field line that was snagged by Talonfield on an outstanding play. And then Pugrad, who just made an outstanding play at short, got hit right there in the thigh.
Just wore that one on the knee.
But you know what? He got on base, and that's all that matters. So way to go, Jared.
Sound like Moneyball now.
And he doesn't have a cup stuck to his helmet, so that's another plus for Jared Pugrad.
He gets on base. Has Jake Daly dancing around with that cup on his head. That one skips into the dirt, and they've got him stuck in a rundown.
With a cup on.
He's still in it. Pugrad gets in there at second. Jake Daly not happy with himself there. A heads-up play from Lang to fire it down. And I don't think he's going to be too happy when he finds the cup on his head either. It's going to be okay, Justin.
I mean, he's really upset, and he doesn't know he's got a cup stuck to his helmet. The poor guy.
No one told him as he walked in either. Coach Skelton's got a big old grin on his face.
I mean, it was just the perfect
storm there.
It was. Oh, man.
That one skips into the dirt as well. Lang keeping it close.
Well, I was really hoping that he would hit a home run with the cup
it would have been
on
awesome.
top of his head.
And credit to Daly, that was not an easy base running decision to make there. Lang made a really smart play to throw to second, and Daly was just kind of caught in between. As that one an inside strike. Count runs 2-1, but Daly was kind of caught in between on a ball that looked like he was going to get really far away from Lang and then got into the chest guard and bounced back into play as Jackson drills one towards center, giving chase, and it's going to land. Alex Jackson, a 2-out double, going to score some runs. Pugrad comes around to score. And Alex Jackson, a 2-out, 1-run RBI.
And that's where you miss having Curtis Lindsey in center field with the speed that he has, because Lindsey might have been able to track that one down. We saw it with Pugrad's hit earlier where he put it kind of perfectly in the left center gap where you want to. Alex Jackson almost hitting it to the same exact spot, but this time it actually got down.
Brings Garen Gledhill to the batter's box, as they still haven't gotten that run on the board for the Zap here at Hyde Stadium. They lead 11-2. Gledhill swings and fouls that one off into the backstop for strike one. Gledhill probably hit the hardest hit ball we have seen this season at Hyde Stadium. Just an absolute laser shot to center field. Landed about halfway up the netting. If the netting wasn't there, it might have broke some playground equipment. As Gledhill fouls that one back off the other way. And then his second at-bat, he put a charge into a ball into right field that looked like it was going to have the distance, but got down at the warning track for a double that scored another run. So an outstanding day at the office for Garen Gledhill. A chance for another RBI here, as that one misses low and outside for ball one. Still got our good friend of the broadcast booth, Charlie, in the booth today. I just love Bark at the Park. That is probably my favorite promotion that any baseball team does. We've got to meet some friendly dogs here today as Gledhill goes down looking. He wasn't a big fan of that one. He'll shake his head a couple of times, but that one in there for a strike. But the Zap add another on the back of an Alex Jackson double. They lead 11-2, heading to the top of the sixth.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media peek can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy it at downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
A lot of stuff going on here at Hyde Stadium today. It's Bark in the Park night. And one of the most odd, I can't even say one of the most odd things we've seen here at Hyde Stadium, because we've just seen about everything, and then boom, something happens, and we see something new. Zap lead 11-2. They have scored a run in every single one of their offensive at-bats. They scored 1 in the first, 5 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 there in the fifth. And we got Brady Glenn on the bump. The left-hander will face off with Curtis Lindsay to start. I bet you Curtis Lindsay checked his helmet before he stepped into the right-handed batter's box to make sure that nothing was taped or glued.
I bet Jake Daly was checking his hat when he walked out to right field.
And I have to imagine, as that one misses inside for ball 1 to Curtis Lindsay, I have to imagine that there is some sort of revenge being plotted by Jake Daly on Coach Devin Skelton.
He's got to get him with the water cooler tonight.
Has to. Here's the 1-0 from Glenn. That one will run inside for ball 2. And Jake Daly, you know, if you end up, or maybe if there's any family members listening of Jake Daly's, you let him know that we are here to help him. If there's anything we can do to try to help him get back at his teammates, as Lindsay pops that one out into right field, and the man of the hour, Jake Daly, makes the snag for out number 1. A little bit of oomph behind that throw back into the middle infield. But, man, Jake Daly, just one of the more pleasurable guys on this team, and they don't do that. Here's the thing about those kind of antics. They don't do that to players they don't like. You got to be one of the team favorites to get involved in something like that. So, Jake, if you ever listen to this, or somebody could pass the message along, we're here to help if he wants to exact revenge on Devin Skelton for that.
And I think he might be one of the smarter baseball players. I'm not asking for any more challenge words anytime soon.
Talon Field takes strike 1 down the middle, count even at 1-1. Glenn nods yes to the sign from Ty Farwell. And that one just off the plate for ball 2. It is an absolutely picture-perfect night here at Hyde Stadium. It is gorgeous. Slight breeze working its way across the diamond from left to right. Just a couple wispy clouds off in the distance, but blue skies all around as this one shot into center. Tracking back is Phillips. He'll look into that blue sky and make the second out of the inning. So Brady Glenn working ever so quickly. The Bison have scored 2 runs on only 1 hit here tonight. That lone hit came off the end of the bat of Curtis Lindsay that dropped in down the right field line. But it has just been dominant pitching out of these Zap arms, not only tonight, but in games 1 and 2 as well of this series, as this first pitch is drilled into center. Phillips on his horse. He's going to watch that one bounce at the warning track. Field on his way to second. Excuse me, Coca on his way to second. That was such a quick turnover. And we had another actual change in the outfield. It's now Nick Golden who has taken the place of Andrew Phillips in center field.
I think that one just happened this inning, because Phillips was out there last time, and now Pugrad exiting the game too.
A lot of moving parts in the Zap defense as Remy Hart grounds one. That's going to get through the middle of the infield, and now Louis Coca is going to come around and score.
Well, that's where Phillips went. That was him at second base.
So Phillips moved from center to second base, and he had a tough play to make it. He's kind of got his hands up in the air.
Oh, that probably wasn't his best at that one. Kind of charged and it was an awkward dive.
It was, and it wasn't really a dive. He kind of got caught in between whether he should backhand it or forehand it. And now
And he's a center fielder. That's some foreign territory to him.
But now in an 11-3 lead for the Zap, you get the opportunity to try some different things out. Now Mason Lang will step into the left-handed batter's box with 2 outs, and he'll take ball 1 up high. Good experience for a lot of these guys to try to play some different positions they haven't really played before. So Nick Golden in center. Caden Bazanski has exited the second base territory as Lang pops this one up. Shallow center field. Underneath it and making the grab in center field is Nick Golden. So that'll retire the side, but the Bison do score 1. They get their second and third hits of the ball game. Zap still lead 11-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here at Hyde Stadium.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at united.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive, not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
Hey Zap baseball fans, it's Justin Cowart. If you're interested in a podcast that's sports and only sports, you need to check out Players Perspective. I have athletes and coaches from the South Dakota area and across the country, from the high school all the way up to the professional level. Come on and tell stories of their biggest and best moments of their athletic careers. If it's sports, you bet we cover it on Players Perspective Podcast, sponsored by Avera. You can find it wherever you find podcasts by searching DRG Media Group or on drgnews.com. Now, back to myself and Dylan Beach in the broadcast booth for some more Zap baseball.
Zap lead 11-3, headed to the bottom of the 6th, and Noah Cadina's host family and host mother getting a birthday surprise as a dozen roses were delivered to her one by one from multiple different Zap players. And a big round of applause as it is her birthday today. So that's a nice little treat for her. A lot of treats going around here on Bark in the Park night. And Quinn Ludvigsen will face off with new pitcher Remy Hart for the Bison as he fires in a fastball for strike 1. Estevan Baca, pitcher, third baseman, hitter, now third base coach and national anthem singer, will make his way over to the coach's box down the left field line. Remy Hart's off-speed pitch missed outside for ball 1 to Ludvigsen. And that one will scoot by Mason Lang for ball 2. I think the Zap would love to score 2 or more runs here in the bottom of the 6th and then try to get 3 outs in the top of the 7th and end this game early. Save some arms and save some pitches. Ludvigsen with a shot over to second, and that's going to get through the wickets of Rhett Rogers. So Ludvigsen with a good start here to the bottom of the 6th inning. A base hit will put him on first. And that'll bring up Aiden Johnson.
Yeah, that's a hard play to make. That ball was just absolutely clobbered there by Ludvigsen. And Zap trying to get a couple of runs here and send these fans home early, get these dogs to some shade.
It's been a rather cool night, especially as the sun starts to set behind us, but it was a warm one to start today. It was about 85, 86 degrees, but with no breeze to speak of at the start at first pitch. A lot of dogs were over in that pool that was set up by the Zap interns here today. Aiden Johnson takes ball 1 high. And a good job by Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis and others for getting those pools set up as Johnson puts a charge into one. That one's going deep to left field. On his horse, looking up and over the head of the Bison left fielder Gannon Hall. as that's going to be a double, and now a close play coming at the plate. The throw is in time, and Quinn Ludvigsen is gunned down. Esteban Baca fails his first test as third base coach as he sent Quinn Ludvigsen maybe a little bit too aggressively. And a great relay coming from Gannon Hall out in left field.
Esteban Baca's lucky he's such a good singer. He'd be heading back to the dugout right now. That was a questionable call from the third base coach.
That was asking a lot out of your first baseman, Quinn Ludvigsen, to try to leg from first to home. But Aiden Johnson will stand at second. Caden Bazanski will now bat for the Zap. He has stepped in and is now playing at shortstop with Andrew Phillips coming from center and moving to second. So we'll see if Bazanski can do some damage here. First pitch to Caden is in there for strike one. A good fastball from Hart finds the bottom of the zone. Hart comes set, working out of the stretch. Bazanski chops it right back to Remy Hart. Now they got Aiden Johnson in a pickle between second and third. Remy Hart is going to fake the throw, and then they're going to tag Aiden Johnson. So maybe some poor base running here by the Zap in this bottom of the sixth inning has kind of run them out of some runs. Not sure if that would have scored Quinn Ludvigsen had he stayed at third, but I guess we'll never know as Andrew Phillips will come up to the plate with 2 outs. And, well, this is when the Zap really flourished with 2 outs.
Yeah, they were just getting those 2 outs on the base paths for fun so they could really get to the rally time.
Absolutely.
And Esteban Baca is really failing that test over at third base.
First pitch to Phillips is in there for strike one. Phillips, that one looked like it almost caught him on the way by. Zap also don't want to end their streak of scoring in every inning they've batted it. Scored 11 runs on 10 hits today. 1 in the first, 5 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. And they had runners in scoring position, but they've ran into some outs. Here's the 0-2. That one chopped towards second base, and that's going to be tossed to second for the third out of the inning. So the Zap put runners on. They can't do anything with it. We head to the top of the seventh. Zap lead 11-3 here at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
God bless America, being played at Hyde Stadium on this 4th of July weekend, in which the Zap are cruising for a third straight victory here at Hyde Stadium. If you're just joining us, I'm Dylan Beach, joined alongside me my partner in crime, Justin Cowart, and our producer, intern extraordinaire, Eli Lewis. It's been a fun day at the ballpark. It was Bark at the Park night, and it was UPS's game night. They were giving out some nice goodie bags. So Brady Glenn fires in a first pitch strike to get ahead in the count.
Love how quickly Brady Glenn works, too, especially there in that top of the 6th inning.
0-1 from Glenn. Just misses high and inside for ball 1.
Though they did score a run, it was a lot of quick hits and a lot of quick outs.
He is no nonsense out on the mound. 1-1 from Glenn. That one swung on into the gear of Farwell for strike 2. And Glenn, he is such a fan favorite here in Pierre. His 3rd year with the Zap. Helped us out. The intern team filmed a funny TikTok with us the other day. 1-2. Just runs inside. Batter thought about offering on it. Ended up holding up.
I wonder, as a relief pitcher in these situations when you've got these huge leads, if you ever wonder, maybe I should just throw him over the plate.
So Brian Atkinson watches that one in for ball 3.
And see if they can hit him, put him in a play, let your defense make plays, or if you start to try some new pitches and try to hit new spots. We'll have to ask our next pitcher we have up on the booth.
With 8 runs to work with, might get to run some different things as Atkinson goes down looking. A nice pitch there from Glenn, and he is strutting in the infield after a nice strikeout there.
And Atkinson knew it. He was headed back to the dugout before he got rung up. That was a great pitch from Glenn to kind of catch the inside corner with that fastball.
Brady Glenn with that red shooting sleeve, firing on all cylinders right now. Sets, fires that one sky high over the broadcast booth for strike 1. Glenn trying to keep things where they're at. If the Zap score 2 in the bottom of the 7th, it'll walk it off and send everybody home early on this beautiful day at Hyde Stadium. 0-1, off speed in there for strike 2. Lethal off speed there. Batter didn't want to offer on it, and that just snuck right into the zone. See if Glenn can get back-to-back Ks. The 0-2 just misses for ball 1.
And Ty Farwell loved the placement of that pitch. A little bit high and away, a good pitch, and a good take there by the hitter as well.
Lineup turns over for Rhett Rogers. 1-2. Put into play. A good play from Glenn to keep it in the glove. Flips over to Ludvigsen for the second out. And Brady Glenn, it's not an aspect that a lot of pitchers have to rely on too often, their defensive ability, but he has been flashing the leather here at Hyde Stadium as of recent.
Always love those bouncers right back to the pitcher. And I love what Brady Glenn did, too. He's a lefty, so he got the ball out of his glove, and he sticks it up in the air and shows it to Quinn Ludvigsen. That's just basics. That's back to day one stuff that you love to see your pitcher going back to.
As that one misses off the plate for ball 1. And Glenn had that outstanding, almost behind-the-back catch on a comebacker right to the mound to prevent a hit a couple weeks ago. And he has just been dealing here today. The 1-0 just misses for 2-0. Brady Glenn, his teammates often joke with him, where are they going to build the statue of you in Pierre? As 2-0 from him, off speed, misses high for ball 3. I think if they make a playoff push and win a championship and he closes it out, they might build that statue somewhere.
If I have anything to do with it, they will. They've got 31 statues of former governors around the capital city here. Maybe
3-0 in there for strike 1.
If you ever thought about getting into politics, that's one way he could get a statue built.
He's got my vote, but I am not a South Dakota resident, so that wouldn't count for very much. Maybe one day. Brady Glenn comes set the 3-1, fouled off, and he has done an excellent job getting back into this at-bat. was behind in the count 3-0 for getting that off-speed strike, and then that one fouled off for strike 2. As a lot of the dogs in the ballpark getting tuckered out. Our good friend Charlie, he's just knocked out cold right now.
Well, he ran out of popcorn to find on the floor. Floor looks pretty good, though, I'll say that.
3-2. Swung on and missed. Brady Glenn coming back from behind in the count 3-0, getting a big strikeout to end the inning. Zap lead 11-3 with a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back here on River 92.7 in the Oahe Zap YouTube.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Ty Farwell at the plate for the Oahe Zap. Trying to get 2 runs to send everybody home on this beautiful afternoon in Pierce, South Dakota. On July 5th of the 4th weekend, that one a strike into Ty Farwell, leaving up the count at 1 apiece. Today in southern Indiana, Thunder over Martinsburg. Fireworks show close to my heart. The 1-1 skips on the plate for ball 2. New pitcher on the mound for the Bison is Remy Hart.
Saw him in the last inning. He's got a good fastball. Got himself into some trouble, but the Zap kind of bailed him out. But hey, Esteban Baca back out there coaching third.
As Farwell chops that one off his foot. Remy Hart thought he was going to get out there, but the way Farwell kind of grimaced after that one, you could tell that one landed off the foot.
You could hear it. You could kind of hear it hit off the cleat. That's always a painful sound.
As Farwell trying to get the leadoff runner on for the Zap. They need 2 to send everybody home. People are starting to pack up from this fun night at Hyde Stadium as that one fouled off into Capitol Ave.
They might be looking into their crystal balls thinking that they're going to score 2 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Farwell staying alive on that last swing. A lot of room on that third base line. The 2-2. Chop towards first. Lindsay, an outstanding pick. Stepping on the bag just in time. Barely got him. Kind of made it a closer play than it maybe needed to be.
That was an awesome play by Curtis
That
Lindsay.
was. He has really been a bright spot from this Bison team in their first 3 games of the year. Jake Daly at the plate, and there's no cup on his head as he has made it to the box with no distractions. 1 away for the Zap. Thought about offering, but holds off on a first pitch ball. As Hart comes set and fires, Jake Daly swinging on a filthy off-speed offering. That ball, that was a pretty pitch from a guy who started this game off at first base.
That was one of those swings that you're just not sure if you want to even be swinging.
1-1 inside for ball 2.
Remy Hart wanting to know where that one missed, but give credit, too, to Remy Hart on that last off-speed pitch.
Yeah. 2-1 from Hart. Comes set. Jake Daly skies that one a mile high in the infield. Settling in under it is Coca. He called off the pitcher, Remy Hart, and makes the play for the second out of the inning. Zap had a chance to have not even been up in this inning. They had a leadoff hit from Ludvigsen and then a double from Aiden Johnson that looked like it was going to get it out of the ballpark. And then they sent Ludvigsen home, and Aiden Johnson got caught in a jam to end the last inning as Nick Golden steps to the plate. Fouls that one off over the left field line. A couple of kids giving chase, trying to get a slushie and a trading card. That was really nice of Bob Habiger. He saw us, or you reaching out of the window for that foul ball and brought us some slushies as that one misses outside for ball 1 to Nick Golden.
So I guess it's not all for naught, trying to reach my arm out there and snag a couple foul balls.
1-1 to Nick Golden in there for strike 2. Remy Hart looking impressive out on the mound, as still they are shading heavily towards the pull side for Golden. A lot of room down that third base line as he slices that one back foul towards the Bison dugout into the netting. 2 away for the Zap. They've been so lethal with 2 outs this year. It's felt like in the second half they've really come alive in those situations, as that one misses off the plate for ball 2. Their backs against the wall. They get going. Estevan Baca trying to lead the crowd in a clap chant, but the issue is he's the only one doing it. That one misses way outside for ball 3.
But at least he made it back over there.
I had some doubts if he was going to make it back to third base after sending Ludvigsen on that last inning, but Estevan Baca getting a second chance to start his coaching career. The 3-2 payoff to Golden. A weird sky ball to the second baseman. That's going to be a hard play, and Curtis Lindsey wasn't on the bag. Golden's there in time. Would have been an incredibly difficult play to make. Rhett Rogers was charging on a weak, shallow fly ball. He made the throw over to Lindsey in time, but Lindsey had drifted off the bag a little bit. And now the game-winning run rule run at the plate, and Alex Jackson. He homered yesterday for the first time as a Zap. See if he can do it again and send everybody home happy. I don't think anyone's going to be leaving the ballpark sad tonight in a 11-3 ball game, but they could be sent home earlier as that one runs inside, just about catches Jackson for ball 1. A sunset forming here at Hyde Stadium. A lot more sun at the ballpark today than yesterday on the 4th. That one misses off the plate for ball 2.
Yeah, this day was just sculpted for baseball.
And I'm glad we didn't have too hot of weather for our furry friends running around the ballpark. We have the pools, but it would have been some hot concrete out there. As Jackson watches strike 1. Giving a bit of a head nod there to Remy Hart. A good offering from him. Golden on first, 2 away for the Zap. Jackson skies that one to right. Settling under it, making the play is Sam Benz. Zap can't walk things off in the bottom of the 7th. Their second consecutive scoreless inning, but there's nothing to sweat about. They're leading 11-3 here at Hyde Stadium. We'll be right back for the top of the 8th.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre's Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
All smiles at Hyde Stadium with an 11-3 Zap lead. And we got a new pitcher on the bump. Looks like Wyatt Gladue is taking the mound for the Zap. You see Zap look for their third straight win here at Hyde Stadium. They will win the series if they can hold on to this lead. And they'll look to sweep tomorrow afternoon. First pitch set for 2:30 Central Time. We'll have the coverage at 2:20 right here on River 92.7 and also streaming on the Oahe Zap YouTube, which will be linked to drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. It'll be Gannon Hall to lead things off for the Bison here in the top of the 8th. Wyatt Gladue looking to keep this thing right where it's at. And it is just a tailor-made day for baseball. Blue skies overhead. Moon hanging out over center field. As the first pitch from Gladue is off speed and missed all of it, did Gannon Hall. I'll have to ask Tom Plooster, one of the great photographers that works these games, as that second straight off-speed pitch, second same result, swing and a miss from Hall. I'll have to ask Tom Plooster if he got any good shots of Jake Daly with that cup stuck to his helmet. I would love to see one in the midst of that rundown. Here's the 0-2 from Gladue, just off the plate. Ty Farwell liked the pitch. He let Gladue know that. Curtis Lindsey is in the on-deck circle. Talon Field in the hole here for the Bison. Here's the 1-2 from Gladue. That's in the dirt ball, too. Shadows making their way across the diamond. Just about all of the infield grass is covered in shadow. Just a few sunspots peeking through. There's the 2-2. Oh, man. Everybody in the ballpark thought that was strike 3 except the home plate umpire. And now our four-legged friend in the booth has gotten more confident after some pets. He's up walking around looking for some free food. The 3-2 misses high and away for ball 4, so Gladue got ahead 0-2. 4 straight balls will walk the leadoff hitter. And Gannon Hall. Good at bat from him. Good patience. So he'll head down to first, and that'll bring up Curtis Lindsey.
And this is a 1-2 punch that you're going to want to capitalize on all season if you're the Bison. Gannon Hall and Curtis Lindsey have been playing some outstanding baseball to start this season.
So we'll see if Gladue can get a ground ball towards that middle infield. And a big swing and a miss. That off-speed pitch has been working well here in the early going for Wyatt Gladue. Gladue comes set. The lefty looks straight ahead at the runner on first, now delivers, and Lindsey off the end of the bat. This could be 2. Ludwig's into second for 1, back to first to a clovering Gladue, and he looks for the bag and finally finds it with the left foot. Great turn there from Caden Bazanski at shortstop, who was staring straight back into the sunlight. And Curtis Lindsey kind of helped assist that double play. Looks like he might have took his foot off the gas there towards the end. Gladue had a struggle finding the bag. He tapped his foot about 3 or 4 different times before he finally made contact with it. But that's the ground ball he was looking for. Now we'll see if Talon Field can reach for the Bison. He fans on an off-speed pitch. Man, Gladue is just working that change-up and curveball in there perfectly. Gladue ahead 0-1. And Talonfield will take ball one down low. Didn't offer at that one. That's the first off-speed pitch that these Bison haven't swung at here in the top of the 8th. The 1-1 from Gladue. Runs inside, ball 2. Dylan mentioned a few folks making their way back to the homestead here. Pretty much feeling like this one is in the back pocket for the Zap, leading 11-3, but still a great crowd on hand. The 2-1 down low, all 3. I believe our biggest crowd since opening day here on Bark in the Park night. See if Gladue can come back and get field the 3-1 pitch. That's off the plate. So the second walk of the inning for Wyatt Gladue. That'll bring up Louis Coca. Coca's had a good series over there at third base, made a couple spectacular plays with the glove. Charlie.
Don't you dare blame that on him.
2 outs for Gladue. First pitch to Coca is lined back our way, coming my direction. It's going to be played and through the hands of owner Bob Habiger. Man, I thought that might have been the one.
If that had made it another foot back and jumped up, I think you'd have
would
had
have
it.
bounced perfectly right into the breadbasket.
Dang it.
Coca trying to give this broadcast team what it's been hoping for all season long. Big swing and a miss from Coca, and Gladue is ahead 0-2. The waters in the Capitol Pond are nice and calm. That breeze has dropped dead here at Hyde Stadium. Gladue, the 0-2 pitch, is swung on and missed. Man, he is just dicing and slicing this Bison lineup as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's been all Zap here today. They lead 11-3. We'll be back after this break on River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
It'll be Garrett Gledhill to lead things off here at the bottom of the 8th inning. He delivered the first run of the day for the Zap. He takes strike 1 on a good breaking ball from Remy Hart. Now takes strike 2. Gledhill left the ballpark with a deep shot to center field in the bottom of the first. And Zap were off and running from there. Here's the 0-2 to Gledhill. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Good sequence there from Remy Hart. As the Zap will bring up Quinn Ludvigsen. And they can win it with 2 runs, but they can also just get out of this inning quickly and leave it up to their pitching staff. A lot of fun had today here at Hyde Stadium, and we expect a good crowd tomorrow afternoon for the final game of this 4-game series as Ludvigsen takes strike 1, fastball on the outside corner. As he shoots one over to the second base side. Good play made there by Rhett Rogers. He fires to first, and just like that, there's 2 outs. That'll bring up Aiden Johnson as we're looking at the weather for tomorrow. Possibility of rain, but you know it is central South Dakota, and that could dissipate. But the temperature is going to be more suitable for baseball tomorrow as well. High of 80, low of 64, so make your way over to Hyde Stadium. See some Zap baseball. Zap are arguably the hottest team in the ILB as of right now. First pitch to Aiden Johnson is swung on, grounded towards Rogers, past a diving Lindsay, covering Remy Hart, throw on the way, and he got him. What a stretch from Remy Hart. Unbelievable play for both Rhett Rogers and Remy Hart. Lindsay was off the bag trying to field the ground ball, but Remy Hart came in to save the day. Kids will run the bases here at the break when we come back. The final 3 outs for the Bison here on River 92.7.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
DJ Eikenberry gets the 9th inning for the Zap. An 11-3 ball game, a chance for an honorary save. Send all these fans home happy. The Zap went down quickly in the bottom of the 8th. I'm sure that's what these fans are looking for here. Only 8:36 here at Hyde Stadium. Still time to maybe catch some dinner after this for all the players with family in town.
A lot of family in town. Great to see some family, and we got to talk to a couple family members of some Zap players at the 4th of July parade yesterday. And it's always nice to have them get the opportunity to see their kids, their friends, their nephews get to play here at Hyde Stadium. I'm sure they talk about it to them all the time. It's a great setting. The community's great, but for these family members to experience it firsthand is outstanding as well.
And more importantly, maybe a chance to give themselves a break from having to listen to us for a couple of nights for their Zap baseball.
I know a few folks that are probably glad that they don't have to listen to us, whether they want to or not.
I got to meet, I believe, Mrs. Ludvigsen last night, all the way from Minnesota, which is the closest you can even be here to South Dakota. There's nothing close out here in South Dakota, but that's about as close as you can get.
You're really selling a lot of these recruits that are thinking about coming to play for the Zap.
Hey, look at that backdrop, and look at how pretty it is right now, and get back to me, because it is. I don't think you're going to find a prettier backdrop than right here in Pierce, South Dakota.
Yeah, I think this guy's ready for a long walk after we get done here tonight.
I'm shocked you didn't just start going crazy when you said that word.
It's not that word that gets him going. It's a couple other ones that I won't mention here on air. Not because they're not family friendly, but because I don't want him to bother me for the next 3 outs.
DJ Eikenberry comes set. Southpaw fires in there for strike 1. Remy Hart thought about offering Easton Heights beer batter, but it's a moot point at this stage of the game. The last call was last inning. So this one's just for TJ's stat sheet if he can get him down swinging. So he watches that ball in low. A good crowd here at Hyde Stadium. A lot of very friendly dogs at the ballpark. Some who had some problems with Shock the Wolf, as that one skips in for ball 2. They thought Shock Wolf was going to be the alpha dog of the pack today, but he got a rude awakening from some dogs in the heat as he retired after just the first inning. 2-1 from Eikenberry. This is low for ball 3.
Yeah, they might have you believe that it was the dogs that forced Shock out of the costume, but I don't know. I saw Shock with an ice pack on his chest for about 3 innings down there. So
he's got a new shirt on afterwards as well, so I imagine it was a very sweaty mess in there. The 3-1 off the plate for Eikenberry as he walks the leadoff runner in Hart. Currently the pitcher for the Bison. Brings Mason Lang to the plate. We'll see if he lays down a ground ball to send everybody home, or get closer to sending everybody home, I should say. Nobody away. Hart on first. Lang, part of the trade. Noah Cadena for Mason Lang happened around, I don't know, probably lunchtime today. 0-0 to Lang, swung on and missed, or fouled, I should say.
Well, I found
Still a
out,
strike.
I found out by seeing Jeff Passan tweet about it.
Yeah.
Cadena and Lang have been swapped.
Let's wait for the groundbreaking tweet tomorrow that Lang's coming back for a post-8 player. If the catcher doesn't get in town by tomorrow, I'm pretty sure it will be a post-8 catcher playing for the Bison tomorrow. So that off-speed misses off the plate for ball 1.
And rumor has it we might see a new face on the mound tomorrow. We're going to keep that secret. We're going to make you tune in. Trust me, you're going to want to watch.
You are going to want to see it, and I'm hoping that pitcher doesn't do a great job on the mound. The 1-1 misses away for ball 2.
Well, after I got sprayed by this pitcher during the 4th of July parade while I was holding audio equipment, I might join you in that camp.
It's going to be funny if he gets on the mound. He's looking at us right now. 2-1 from Eikenberry. Misses high for ball 3, and that danger of walking his second straight batter. No matter what happens tomorrow, if it happens, it is going to be spectacular content for the Oahe Zap. You're going to have to check it out. Eikenberry trying to get this batter back in control. 3-1 offering. Sets, fires that one in for strike 2. So the count runs full for Eikenberry. Would be a big strikeout to set up a double play to end the game. But I'm sure if I'm Mason Lang, you would not want to be striking out to your teammate right now. Payoff pitch from Eikenberry. Sets, fires. That one skips in for ball 4. And I got to talk to Noah Cadena a bit about his experience after game 1 playing for the Bison. And I was like, what is going through your head out there? I mean, are you wanting to do damage against your team? Are you really wanting to punish them for trading you? And he just said, really just trying not to strike out. And I was like, I completely understand that. If you're a catcher and you're striking out to the pitchers that you often form a battery with, there's a lot of pressure not to go down swinging. As we get a quick mound visit here of TJ Eikenberry. Triple play could send everybody home.
Well, yeah, that's probably maybe that's the secret to hitting is, you know, going up there, not trying to hit the home run, just I'm trying to put something in play, because we saw Cadena hit that 2-run shot yesterday, and now we know his mindset behind it.
0-0 from Eikenberry, skips in for ball 1. TJ Eikenberry having a bit of trouble finding the zone right now. Back-to-back walks. He's behind in the count here. 1-0. In there for strike 1. A nice comeback pitch there from TJ Eikenberry as Trey Martin gives the swing sign. I think the Bison were remaining patient there. And it was a very literal swing sign. Just swung his arms like a bat. The 1-1 checked on. Didn't matter. That one's in there for strike 2.
Yeah, it seems like Eikenberry on these last 2 pitches has kind of slowed things down. He's tried to smooth everything out, and he's been able to find the zone with it.
1-2 from TJ Eikenberry. Sets, fires, swung on and missed for strike 3. Gets the first K of his day. Sends the Bison batter back to the dugout for the first out of the inning. Bison trying to spark an 8-run rally here as Rhett Rogers fouls that one right for us. No.
I almost went out the broadcast booth trying to make the play on that one, but luckily I've got this grate right here to catch me if I do end up tumbling out.
If Justin had Ty Farwell arms, or maybe out of the other window, he might have had it as Rhett Rogers fouls off that one for strike 2.
I had somebody ask me, why do you have the broadcast window open? Does it get hot up in there? And Devin Skelton wondering the same thing. He's got his hands up in the air. I need a glove. I'm going to bring a glove tomorrow and show these guys.
I just need it to happen. I need it to happen like I need air. The 0-2 from Eikenberry skips in and past Farwell. So the double play is off, and they're going to send the runner. They thought about sending the runner. I don't think Trey Martin had anything to do with that decision. Remy Hart just kept on chugging through third, but able to get back in time. So the double play ball is off, but Eikenberry a strike away from getting the second out of the inning. Trying to send everybody home. Got an 8-run lead to play around with. So some low-stakes pitching. The 1-2 swung foul over the grandstand. We had talked about this with his college teammate Jackson Cornett about how it's kind of hard to pitch with such a big lead or a big deficit because there's not really any stakes. 1-2 from Eikenberry, put into play towards center. Golden charging, making the second out of the inning. Hart's going to tag. The play going to be close. Ty Farwell can't put it down in time. A close play, a good throw from Nick Golden. Maybe had a bit too much loft, but an impressive relay back in.
Yeah, it was, and that was a good, Remy Hart probably had his adrenaline pumping trying to score on that last pass ball, so he probably kind of used that to his advantage. But the Bison stealing a run here in the top of the 9th inning. Again, it's just kind of them just piecing things together and finding things that work in this early going of their second half season.
Scored their runs in the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th. So it's every 3 innings something comes together and clicks for the Bison as that one's fouled into Capitol Ave. First strike, 2 away here for the Zap. Trying to send everybody home as we're having some issues getting the new balls out to the umpire. Zap are hoping to only need one of those. See if TJ Eikenberry can induce some weak contact or sky high fly ball to send everybody home on a just beautiful Pierce, South Dakota night. 0-1 runs inside, catches Sam Benz. That one's got to hurt.
Yeah, he's hanging that right arm in some pain. And there's not many guys I'd want to get hit by in this out of this Zap bullpen. TJ Eikenberry falls into that category. He can really bring it.
Yeah, after Jackson Cornett left, I think the reliever you would most not want to get hit by is now TJ Eikenberry, as he did exactly that, but comes back with a nice pitch to get Gannon Hall swinging over it for strike 1. So now runners on first and second, 2 away for the Bison. They trail by 7. Crazier things have happened. 0-1 from Eikenberry. Chopped foul towards Trey Martin on that third base line. Coach over there flashing the leather. I have been expecting to see him in the lineup card at some point. They don't have a whole lot of players, and talked to him the other day about if he was going to play, and he said he thought he was just going to have to at some point. Maybe that'll be a Sunday Funday matinee guest appearance. Bison down to their final strike. TJ Eikenberry, that one skied into left. Alex Jackson settles under it, makes the third out of the inning. Zap win 11-4. It's all smiles at Hyde Stadium at the Park night. Charlie, do you love it?
Wagging his tail, yes.
He loves it. He wagged his tail, yes. The Zapper winners once again. They say goodbye to Mason Lang as they're trying to get him to join the handshake line as he is a Zap player. We will be right back after this for our post-game show.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at united.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive, not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
Hey.
Zap win their 15th of the year, tying their all-time win record with 16 games left to play. They win this one tonight 11-4. If you're just joining us for the post-game show, you missed one great game. Garen Gledhill got things started with a one-run shot, and it was all Zap from there, winning their 15th game out in front of this home crowd on a very fun night at the ballpark, Justin.
Sure it was, and great to see a huge crowd come out and respond. And it's always good when you can win in front of a crowd like this. And we've seen it throughout these wins. Numbers continue to grow with folks getting out to the ballpark and showing their support for the Zap. Hard not to support this team. It's a fun team. They love to have a good time here. And, it's always rang true. Alex Sheets wanted this community to kind of rally around this team, so he said, I'm going to do things for the community and not just provide good baseball. I'm going to provide good concessions, good events, and he has come through on that double time. So another good night for the Oahe Zap, third straight win. They scored 10 or more runs yet again, and certainly shaping up for what should be a fun close to this series tomorrow with two major series coming next week.
Yeah, it was Bark at the Park night presented by Paws Animal Shelter and K&M. You know the rest of that. Yeah. We don't want to wake up our furry friend in the broadcast booth. It starts with a T.
Give them their due.
K&M Treats, my host family. Shout out to you guys. You put on a great display here at the ballpark, and it was a fun time as always as the Zap run away with this one, and just an all-around great performance. Fuller looked good on the mound, and the bats really came alive. And Justin, I'm going to turn it over to you. Who's your player of the game for tonight?
That's tough. Great to see Garen Gledhill leave the ballpark. We saw a great start out of Jake Fuller. We saw some great plays from the Bison players as well, and Curtis Lindsey with a couple great plays out there in the field again. But you know what? I think tonight's player of the game has got to go to the starting pitcher in Jake Fuller. He pitched a great game, got in a little bit of trouble early, got out of it, kept things at bay, and gave his team an opportunity to win. And the Zap offense continued to do great things and came through for their starter and gave him a good lead early. He was able to work with that, but I think Jake Fuller went deeper than we expected him to in this game tonight. So that's who my player of the game is here for this evening.
I think I'm going to give mine to Coach Skelton for sneaking that cup on the head.
That's a great one.
That was a fun part of the broadcast. Any closing remarks, Justin?
Well, it's again a great win for the Zap. I thought they locked in well. We talked about it in pregame. How are they going to respond to a game yesterday where it felt like they may have lost their focus a little bit, let the Bison back into the ball game late? They still got the win, but I think they refocused and regained their composure again today, and would love for them to get the sweep tomorrow and set a new all-time win record each time they continue to get wins here at Hyde Stadium. But I would just say to the community, if you want to have some fun, want to spend your Sunday afternoon at a great event, come out to the Zap tomorrow. We'll have the game first pitch at 2:30. Coverage will begin at 2:20.
Yeah, Sunday fun day at the ballpark. We don't know what the menu item's going to be, but we sure know we're going to try it at some point.
Yes.
We'll be signing off for one last time tonight, thanking our sponsors, the Pierre Chamber of Commerce, the Pierre Regional Airport, and Venture Communications, as always, for that fun first inning fiber fact. I'm Dylan Beach, joined alongside me, as always, Justin Cowart, and our producer, intern extraordinaire, Eli Lewis, signing off for one last time. Zap win 11-4 here at Hyde Stadium.
This broadcast of Oahe Zap Baseball was brought to you by DRG Media Group and its sponsors. The next home Zap game will be broadcast right here on River 92.7 and DRGnews.com. Thanks for tuning in.